Welcome to the Samwelb B12 experience,
where we have you covered for all the NHL action, play-by-play, news, and more. Make sure to subscribe today.
Hello, Canada, hockey fans of the United States and different lands.
You're watching Samwelb experience.
Hey, welcome in. Happy trade deadline eve. Oh, it's a big day tomorrow, but it started early and it's continuing today. So many trades to talk about later on today, but one of them involving the Leafs that you know we're going to get to real soon, but let's go around the horn. What's up, Leo? Welcome in. Leo's already going with 3-2 Toronto. Rebecca, what's going on? Welcome in. Charlie, hello there. Good to see you. And Rebecca, was it Morgan that you have with you? I think it was Morgan. Hello, Morgan. Welcome in. Leo, what's up? Great to see you. Onyx, hello, buddy. Hello. Lucas, what's up? Nice new graphic there, Lucas. Charlie, hello. Good to see you. Gretchen, welcome in. Panthers sure do. And boy, did the Panthers beef up with a nice little move of their own with Tarasenko. Morgan, hello there. Welcome in. Hayden, AAU, what's up, buddy? Good to see ya. And as we keep going, Daniel, hello there. Lala's Place, what's up? Claude, welcome in. Matthew, it is. And this is going to be an absolute doozy tonight. Can't wait. Jake, how's it going? Antonio, welcome in. Ben, good to see ya. Mr. Snow, what's up? Welcome to the show, one and all. Welcome home. We are going to have a great show tonight. Again, it's Boston, Toronto. We saw this just the other day. Toronto trying to bounce back, trying to make it happen, and they've lost 3 so far this year to the Bees. Will tonight be different? Can Toronto find a way to win? And who is going to be the lineup that we're going to see face Boston tonight? And here it is for the Leafs. Matthew Nye is going to be with Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner. So no real change there. There we go. Now I can actually make some adjustments. We got Tyler Bertuzzi with Domi and Nylander. That line was great yesterday. We got Bobby Mack with John Tavares and Callie Yarncroc. Noah Gregor with David Kempf and Ryan Reeves. On the backside, it's TJ Brody with Timothy Liljegren. Morgan Riley with Ilya Lyubushkin. They dropped down to the second pairing. Then we got Benoit and Lagesson with the Waller. Joseph Woll getting the nod to start between the pipes for the Leafs today. Holmberg, Marty Jones, both scratched, as is the new defenseman we're going to talk about very shortly, Joel Edmondson. That's right, Joel Edmondson. Welcome to the Maple Leafs. Jake McCabe is back tonight. And sorry, I misspoke. We'll have to see who is out. I imagine it's going to be Lagesson, actually. That might be out. And McCabe is going to be in with Benoit. But we'll have to see. There still is that flu bug going through the team. So we'll see what's going to be shaken up. For the Bruins, we got Brad Marchand with Charlie Coyle and Jake DeBrusk. Danton Heinen with Pavel Zacha and David Pasternak. James Van Riemsdyk with Morgan Geekie and Trent Frederick. Jacob Lauko with Jesper Bokvist and Justin Brazeau. Then on the D side, Matt Grzelcyk with Charlie McAvoy. Mason Laurie with Brendan Carlo. And Parker Witherspoon with Kevin Shattenkirk. Jeremy Swayman going to be between the pipes for the Bruins tonight. So a rematch of what we saw just a couple of nights ago. Peter, what's going on? Welcome in. Roger, hello there. Welcome in as well. Let's see. Mr. Snows, since we lost last night, we won't have home advantage when we play them in round one. Listen, that's... We'll have to see how things are going to shape up. If we get more points than them, then we will. But, hey, we'll have to see what's going to be. Duke, welcome in. Duke, good to see you. Rare W from Keefe with the first line. That line did fantastic yesterday. Indeed, they came up with one. B-Man, what's up? Buds need a coach. Yes, indeed. That coach, they definitely need a coaching change there. Theo, what's up? Sammy Sam doing the Leafs game commentary live from a cruise ship coming soon. Theo, that's hysterical. Man, that would be amazing. Cujo, welcome in. Good to see you. Beverly, welcome. Peter, what's up? Remember the Ottawas, who cares how many you lose during the season? And Peter, welcome in. Davey Boy, 3rd and 4 nights. It's a tough one. It's a tough stretch for the Leafs, but absolutely a good one. Leo getting the stick taps out here early. Welcome in. As you are coming in, hit that like button, hit those thumbs up. Again, we want to get those through the roof. Sean, welcome in. Also, you're earning points by being here. You can check them at any time in the chat. If you have access to chat, come on in. Just type !points. That'll tell you exactly what you've earned simply by hanging out and having a good time. Then as the game goes on, you can redeem different graphics like we just saw over there. That's stick tap. We got Leafs graphics, Bruins graphics, all kinds of stuff. We're going to have a good time, and those are for you to play with all night long. Dallas in the house. What's up, Dallas? All right, let's get into it before this game starts. Has to be over today. So, Sean, I thought it was going to be over yesterday. I'm actually going with the under today because by taking the under, I'm hoping it will actually be the over. But we'll see. That's my flawed logic. There it is, Lucas bringing up the cup. So, talking about trades, and we're going to talk about all the trades at first intermission, but I want to get into this first one. The Leafs sending a 24 third-round pick and a 25 fifth-round pick to the Washington Capitals for Joel Edmondson. Now, if you're just hearing this name, you're thinking to yourself, why do I know Joel Edmondson? Where is this coming from? Raven Suds, welcome in. Welcome to the show. Well, you know that name because he's bounced around a little bit. He spent some time with the St. Louis Blues. He spent a year with the Carolina Hurricanes. He spent several years with the Montreal Canadiens. And lastly, he's with the Washington Capitals this year. So we get him from Washington. Now, he played a big role when Montreal actually beat Toronto in the bubble series during the COVID years when they had the playoffs. And Edmondson was a big component of that. He is a big, big man. And this is exactly what the Leafs need. 6'5", 224 pounds. The Leafs realize they got to get big in the back end, and this is definitely a step in the right direction. Of course, with a couple big guys already, you know, Lyubushkin is only 6'2", 200, but he plays like a 6'4" guy. Jake McCabe is 6'1", 204, but again, he plays like a bigger guy. Simon Benoit is 6'3", 203. Now we're bringing in this guy at 6'5". It's all good things. So the Leaf recognize they need some size and strength. Now, Edmondson also is a stay-at-home defenseman. He will clear out the front of the net, cause all kinds of trouble. That's exactly what we need to see from a Leaf defender. Someone who's going to clear the net and just not mess around. Get these guys out. So a great pickup here. Wasn't the player I was expecting to see happen, but nonetheless, very, very happy. I also heard, as of about a couple hours ago, the Leafs are still in it, still kicking the tires with St. Louis, trying to get something done as potentially for, oh my gosh, now is it Paryenko, Colton Paryenko. So Paryenko deal still being negotiated, but breaking right now, actually, it's happening. Looks like Jake Gunsel is going to the Carolina Hurricanes, and it looks like Michael Bunting is going to be part of this package in the deal going back to Pittsburgh. So Bunting going from Toronto to Carolina as a free agent now is part of the package. He's going to Pittsburgh for Jake Gunsel. So we'll have to see how the rest of that deal kind of comes to fruition. But right now it looks like Gunsel is going to Carolina. That is just happening right now. So more info to come on that very, very soon. Of course, we'll follow up and get all the news at intermission. Ravens calling Nylander to get the first goal. I like that one. Bunt cake to the Pens. Yeah, Jake. Oh, my Bunting. He has fallen quite fast. Lala's Place. What's up? My son thinks Sam should be the next prime minister. Oh, I don't want that much pressure. We're already in trouble. You don't want me in that office. B-Man coming in with the thumbs up super sticker. $3 super sticker. B-Man, thank you very much. Everybody smash that like button for B-Man. Get those thumbs up. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Much appreciated. All right, a couple of little tidbits of information going into this game. The Rat, Brad Marchand, is one multi-goal game away from becoming the fifth player to record at least 400 goals with the Boston Bruins. The others were Johnny Boychuk, who did 545, Phil Esposito, 459 in 625 games. That's amazing. Bergeron and Rick Middleton. So one multi-goal game away, and he can become the fifth player to do that. Good for Marchand. Now, Mitchie Marner, he comes into tonight's game with a 13-game road point streak, which is currently the longest in franchise history. Now, Austin Matthews with 11 games can tie Doug Gilmour's 12 games for the second longest. The last player with a streak longer than 13 consecutive games was Connor McDavid. He went 17. So Matthews and Marner each looking for some point streaks, seeing what they can do, how they can send it along. But this is going to be an absolute doozy. On the go with CeeLo. What's going on, brother? A partner channel coming in. If you are a NASCAR fan, you must check out On the Go with CeeLo. He covers NASCAR all weekend long. You can have a great time over there On the Go with CeeLo. Do you think the Leafs will get... So, Mr. Snow, they're still working on it. They're still kicking the tires. We broke this down last night. We looked at Paryenko very deeply, and I like what I saw when we looked at his stats. When we broke it down, I really liked what I was seeing from Paryenko. I think he would be a great addition to this team. But with bringing in Edmundson, and now, if Paryenko gets done, we have to start looking at what this potential lineup, this defensive lineup could look like. Is TJ Brodie sent back to St. Louis as part of that deal? Now, that would mean, Paryenko is $6.5 million. Hey, Sarah, what's going on? Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody, if you're coming in. Thank you for being here. Paryenko at $6.5 million. Brodie at $5 million. That's a nice offset for the most part, and then it only costs you $1.5. And if you get St. Louis to retain a little bit of salary, it almost becomes an even wash. So that would be nice. So all of a sudden, if you have Riley Labushkin, Simon Benoit, and McCabe, and then you bring in Edmundson and Paryenko, that is a darn pretty defensive core. You got a lot of grit, a lot of toughness. Poor Timothy Liljegren going to become the odd man out, but that would be spectacular. So we'll have to wait and see. Now, if you are up in the Ontario region, even in Canada, if you get the TSN network, TSN is going live at 8 a.m., I believe they said, 8 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning with 9 hours of trade deadline coverage. So make sure you're there watching it. If we see any big moves for Toronto, we'll definitely drop them in our community section and make sure to share it around. Judy Sports, what's going on? Welcome to the show. Chris, good to see ya. Crazy Canuck in the house. P would be a mistake. 6 more years and a bad back. 6 more years, but that's, I'm okay with that. 6 years at 6.5 million. It's a little hefty on the price, but again, with some arrangements, I kind of like it, especially if the Leafs are trying to go for it this year, if they're trying to put some pressure in to really improve over the next couple of years. I think that would be absolutely incredible, and it would give them a couple years of a run. Triton coming in with the shimmy, but B-Man dropping another $3 super chat, the big thumbs up again. There we go. The likes are going up. Hit that thumbs up for the B-Man. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Get a little shimmy in as we're getting ready for this game to start. So thank you so much. So it looks like McCabe is in, and I was correct. It is Lagesson going to be the odd man out. So Brody and McCabe, Riley LaBouche, Benoit, and Liljegren as they mix around the lineups. Here's, I don't have it here. Let's see, can I bring this up real quick? No, I can't. Let me flip to the other screen. And here's Sheldon Keefe.
And penalty kill. And then just leadership and experience, all those sorts of things, and you can never have enough of that. He's a guy that's been through it, and I think he's unique and different to the group that we have, and just in terms of that size and presence. And talking to him today, he's excited to join us, and we're certainly excited to have him.
What is the biggest adjustment you're looking for tonight versus Monday against Boston?
I think as you go through it, to me, it's less about the tactical things. When we've been at our best, no matter who we've played, there's been a different level of urgency and competitiveness on the puck, and that makes us a better team, and that's required even more so you play a team like Boston. I think that's a real hallmark of their group, and you've got to be able to match and exceed that. It's an additional challenge for us here to do it against this team. It's more of a challenge to do on a back-to-back, but I look at it similar to when we went into Vegas a couple weeks ago, and it's a back-to-back, and you're expecting a real challenge. You're not quite sure what you're going to have as a team, and then you lay it out there as one of our better efforts. So it's going to be a similar type of a deal here tonight for our group to dig in and get another level.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
There's Coach Keefe talking a little bit. Again, Triton, thank you so much for the gifted membership. Stick taps for Triton, and congratulations, Judy Sports, coming up with that gift. So Triton, thank you so much. Teresa, what's going on? Nope, we're just getting set to start. Puck, they're a little behind schedule. We expect this to start any time now. I'm not sure what exactly the holdup is, but they will be getting going very soon. But we're ready to rock. We're ready to roll. It's the Leafs. It's the Bruins. As soon as puck drop goes, this game is going to fly. But again, we're talking about Parienko. We're talking about Edmondson. You heard Keefe there talking a little bit about Edmondson, liking the size. He said in another interview earlier today, he's happy. He's been working with an undersized defense in the league today. So the Leafs tree living recognizing there's an issue and we got to step it up. So that is a big, big, big move. Lewis, welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome to the show. Again, if you're new here and you're just tuning in, thanks for being here. Where the game is going to be coming on momentarily, and we're going to have the call for you. But do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button while you're coming in. And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe right up there. Timber, what's going on? My blackout saver. Welcome in, Timber. Good to have you. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? No. All right. So let me check. There was one other trade the Leafs made. I was going to kind of hold off on this a little bit because it's not a big impact trade, at least right now. Toronto picked up for a pick Cade Weber from the Carolina Hurricanes. And if you're like, who is that? You're rightly so, because he doesn't actually have any NHL experience, nor do I think he will actually play a game this season. He's currently with the NCAA Boston University. In 30 games, he only has 6 points. He's a plus 15 with 28 penalty minutes. But this kid, Cade Weber, is 6'6", 194 pounds. He was drafted by Carolina in 2019, 4th round, 6th pick, 99th overall. 6'6", 194 pounds. That's Cade Weber. Not exactly sure where that's going to fit in. If they're just going to put him in the kind of minor league system after this year when he finishes up college, or is that a piece that they're going to include in the Perienko deal? Did they pick this up so they could send a prospect to St. Louis? We'll have to see. Again, that deal's still in the works. All right, let's get things set to go. We want to see some hockey. Leafs and Bruins, get it going. There he is, Ryan. What's going on? Ryan, our resident villain of the chat. I hope you don't mind me calling you that, but welcome in. So that's what's going on. They're honoring a Stanley Cup champion team. Look, there's Krejci and Chara. Marchand there. He's got to switch sweaters, get his new sweater on. So Boston with a little ceremony going on, and now they're going to go to commercial break and get things ready to go. George, welcome in. I'm excited with defense now. Yeah, George, some great moves. Some really good moves. They're getting things set to go. Henry, that's what I heard. As of a couple hours ago, they were still kicking the tires on it. Still kicking the tires. I mean, there's so much going on. It's absolutely crazy. Let's take a little scroll through and just see if there's anything new. Now, if you are also kind of on the edge of your seat watching for any deals that come in, please feel free to include them in the chat. But I ask you this, make sure they're from a credible source. We don't want anybody dropping ridiculous rumors in here, doing anything like that, leading people the wrong way. If you see something from an Elliot Friedman, Darren Detition, some of the main hockey resources, David Alter, even Paul Bissonnette, you can certainly drop it in. And by the way, yesterday we were talking about Sidney Crosby and the potential. I made the comment that Crosby, has a potential of ending up in Colorado to play with his best mate in Big Nate. And everybody laughed at me. But Bissonnette, I saw him on social media today also talking about the same thing, about Crosby going to Colorado. Now, it's probably not going to happen, right? We know it's a long shot. But when someone like that is talking about it, apparently Darren Dreger also had mentioned it. You never know. Yeah, that's right, Dallas. You never know. But it's funny. The Leafs, when they posted the Edmondson deal on Instagram, there were like hundreds of comments right away. And I start scrolling through the comments. And so many people were, bring Sid to Toronto, Crosby to Toronto, Crosby to the Maple Leafs. Go get Sid. Tree Living, go get Sid. I'm like, Sidney Crosby's making $8.7 million a year. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He can't, this year, next year. The Leafs can't afford $8.7 million. They don't have enough to send to Pittsburgh for Sidney Crosby. Listen, I'd love to see Crosby. Crosby's having the greatest season for a player his age of all time. So Crosby's crushing it, but that's not going to happen. Leaf fans, don't get that in your head. Crosby is not coming to Toronto. Now, Toronto with the long-term IR, I believe they have about $4.5 million left. So they could make something happen and bring something big in. But let's not get crazy. It's not going to be Sidney Crosby. Nor is Wayne Gretzky coming out of retirement. Eric Lindros is not coming back. Doug Gilmour will not be making his return. All the crazy things you see on social media, it's a hoot. The Leafs can barely afford a loaf of bread and a coffee. Phil, that's so true. All right, they finally got the anthems done. Everything cleared off the ice. We're just about set to drop the puck and get this game going. 20 likes away. Smash that thumbs up. Let's get those 20 likes and beyond. We're also 7 subscribers away from 10,300. Smash that subscribe. Let's go. Phil Kessel might actually come out of retirement. Here's the call.
And they're one of the best road
Leafs,
teams
Bruins.
in the NHL.
Let's go.
And Matthews facing off against Charlie Coyle as Charlie McAvoy goes back for it for Boston. Bruins have been uneven, to say the least, since the All-Star break. They lost 2 in
Thank you,
overtime in the
Teresa.
last game here against the Edmonton Oilers. They led with 1.5 minutes to go. The 11th time this year that Boston has lost a game when it led in the third period. That's the most in the league.
But they're staying alive because all the extra points they're getting. They've only lost 1 in regulation and 10, despite all those overtime games.
Morgan Rielly plays that rink wide for Ilya Lyubushkin. Joel Edmondson expected to arrive any minute now in the building. And
let's
go!
Carter putting this in the corner. Thank you, Natalie. Hit that subscribe.
Reaching forward is Jake McCabe.
Dallas still waiting for the Cujo return.
Let's go!
Drilled there by
Danny coming in as well. Thank you so much.
Line. Bruins changing lead pass now for Yarncroke winding in. And that long shot drifts wide, picked up by Bobby McMahon. And McMahon up in the corner by Morgan Geekie. And Geekie wins that battle for the puck. McCabe plays that rink wide. It's knocked away by Carla, but onto the stick of Yarncroke, who plays it down to McMahon. Throws it back in front. That's picked off by Frederick. And now at the line, it's held again by Yarncroke. That pass for Tavares misfired. Swayman plays it away. And good pressure here by this Leafs third line against Boston. McMahon with it. Fresh legs coming on the ice for Toronto as Nylander comes on. He collided with referee Jake Brink. Actually gave him kind of a shove on the way by.
Well, it's a convenient get out of my way. I'm coming in for the puck here.
Nylander on fire as well. 11 goals his last 14 games.
Right on it.
The most he's ever had in a 15-game stretch in his career is 12. Now brought by Pavel Zacha. Drops that back in the high slot. Kevin Shattenkirk works in, trying to center it. It's off the stick of Simone Benoit. Bounces back to Pasternak. Cross check there by Domi. Parker Wotherspoon, a long shot that goes off a leg and wide.
Let's go!
Cody coming in with that subscribe. Thank you, Cody.
Benoit tries to knock that free. Shattenkirk long wrist shot. That goes just wide. Pasternak back with it. Spins away from his good friend
Boston
William
starting to
Nylander.
control here.
And now Pasternak spins back in the corner. Drops it off to Zacha winding and backhands it
Empty
back.
net, big shot. Great save by Wall.
Joseph Wall. What a stop on Danton Heinen.
Heinen coming in. By the way, Bobby McMahon, for those hockey card fans, Bobby McMahon's rookie Young Gun card is in the new set that just came out yesterday, 23-24 Upper Deck Series 2. Bobby McMahon rookie card in that set, as is Connor Bedard. So if you're a card collector, and you want to grab a box, they are very expensive, but some good hits in there. All right, let's drop this puck. Boston firmly in control. What's up, Rick?
He's making his third start of the year against the Bruins. He's allowed 4 goals.
Fourth line
in each
coming
of the
on for the
previous
Leafs.
2. Here's Kampf with it. Plays it back around to Lyubushkin. Ilya Lyubushkin being shouted there by Boqvist. Looks for Rielly. Lead pass to Ryan Reeves. Knocked that down for David Kampf. Back for Reeves. Brings that back around. And here is Noah Gregor, playing this second straight game for Toronto. Reeves plays it back for Rielly. Long wrist shot, tipped just wide by Gregor. And now picked up by Justin Brazo and moved out. Centered out for Brandon Carlo driving.
Good stick lift, David Kemp. Wow, that was awesome.
For Gregor, who chips it back down to the Boston zone.
All right, see you in a bit, Teresa.
Played for the Marlies for a couple of years.
He's hard to miss out there. Huge 55 for Boston.
We'll see you. Road Warriors coming in. 21 months as a member. TikTok goes the trade clock. What a rush. Welcome in, Road Warriors. Jonathan, what's up?
Bumped back in by his defense partner, Matt Grzelcyk. And McCabe goes back. Force bump there by Brad Marchand. Matthews.
Victoria, hello there.
To the line, but not out. Knocked down by Grzelcyk. He flipped that wide. And McCabe bowled over to Brusk, and a penalty.
Penalty.
And now another shove there.
Oh, boy. Marchand just took a whack in the face.
Melee in behind the Toronto net.
I don't care who that was, but thank you, white trash guy. Whoever absolutely drops.
Was going to get 2
is it DeBrusk or was it Marchand?
As well. After
I think
knocking
it's
over
McCabe.
DeBrusk, no question the arm was up for the initial penalty to Jake McCabe. And I wonder if DeBrusk coming into the pile after the second cross check will end up having Toronto just down.
So many
one
bodies,
man
everybody
potentially
piled up.
5-on-3.
So
Marchand
what
is
happened
pleading his
here?
case. The referee, Jake Brink.
That is a
Jake
cross-check to the
McCabe, a
throat
cross-check to the
by
face
McCabe.
of
Gotta be a
DeBrusk.
penalty. And then right after
Marchand with a
for some
spear to
reason,
the
McCabe
family
didn't like
jewels of
maybe stick there,
McCabe.
and that's another
And the McCabe
cross-check
with a
to the
cross-check to
throat.
the
And the
face of
officials are
Marchand.
talking over here.
Marchand
Like,
handing out cross-checks like Brock
this
Lesnar,
should be
handing
a
out
5-on-3 for Boston.
suplexes.
Because Marchand gets his hands up, but he doesn't. And DeBrusk comes in fists up.
So McCabe goes after
should be
Marchand
a
because
5-on-3.
Marchand speared him in
They've
the
shown it now on
balls.
the scoreboard here in Boston.
It's not a 5. It's not a game. It should be 2 minors for cross-checking on Jake McCabe.
So they're going to talk this over.
So Francis Chiron, Jake Brink,
But good on
the two
McCabe.
officials are
Takes
talking
a spear
about
in the family jewels and he drops Marchand like a bad
Jake
habit.
McCabe did not play last night. There's a flu
That
bug
was rude.
floating around the
Christine,
room
it
again
certainly was.
for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Guys feeling a little bit under the weather.
Terrell, welcome
And
in.
The conference to
Marner
me
Matthews Nyes having a
feels
conversation
like
on
they're
the
talking
bench.
about severity of the cross-check, not
Right.
whether or not it's a penalty. Whether it's a 5 is what.
The initial cross-check.
Yes.
It's
I
on
think they're both
Marchand,
clean-cut
and it's a
twos.
Leaf, so they'll probably throw him out.
And it's very like McCabe just gets caught way too high in DeBrusk.
I don't know what McCabe was thinking about DeBrusk.
It's
That
almost
was
the same
brutal.
impact.
So to your
Did
point,
Marchand get licked?
this would
He
not
got
be like
licked
double
okay with
minor.
a
If they
piece of
called
lumber.
2 separate penalties on McCabe, it would be a 5-on-3.
Yes.
Marchand yelling at Marner.
Here's the call.
Let's hear it.
Toronto's penalties, original number 22, 2 minutes for interference. Number 23 gets 2 minutes for roughing.
So they give
What?
McCabe 1 and Nyes 1.
Matthew Nyes gets
Matthew Nyes,
roughing
like, What are
penalty?
you talking about? The end result's the same.
Right.
So
It's a 5-on-3.
that's okay.
But Matthew Nyes,
Two for
how
the
do you
cross
pull-
check, 2 for roughing. I'm
Maybe I
fine
didn't
with
see
that.
it. How do you pull him out for a rough?
And you saw
What the hell?
Marchand say,
Sheldon
what
Keefe
about the
is
one
losing
after?
his mind right now.
I
What
wonder if
on
they
earth
thought
just
that was
happened?
23. I wonder if they
Marchand
just
is giving it to the official.
23 instead of 22.
Show it again.
So,
I want to see.
There's the first cross-check, penalty 1. Here comes the second cross-check, right there, penalty 2. Scrum ensues, and I don't think
So
you're
Nyes comes in and bear hugs DeBrusk, who is going after McCabe. You're
that's
calling
just
that a rough?
They're all doing. I think they just got the wrong number. Matthew Nyes is trying to.
So
get an
you're giving
explanation of the
Matthew
box. I think
Nyes
they
a
just
penalty
missed the
because he
number.
came in and
Either way,
grabbed the guy to
face-off
hold him.
comes outside
So if you're
because
calling
Boston's
that a
defense
penalty,
came into the
every
pile.
single dust up where
doesn't
there's a
like it.
crowd, somebody needs to get a
I
roughing
don't think there's a
penalty.
lot to complain about there.
What
against
a
Toronto
joke
Maple Leafs.
call
That's-
by the official.
This is the right end result for a pretty undisciplined play by McCabe.
Sean, the Leafs are dirty. Sean, it's about time. We've wanted the Leafs to be dirty for so long. They finally brought themselves down to Boston's level. Marchand doesn't get the penalty for the spear and the family jewels. That apparently is allowed. Coming around in front, past the misses. B-Man coming in with the cat. $3 super sticker. Thank you, B-Man. Appreciate that.
Slides it back to McAvoy.
Backside for Marchand with a shot. Beauty of a save.
And Wool makes the stop. Loose in the corner, Van Riemsdyk.
They should put
Back
Ryan
to
Reeves out
McAvoy,
on the
chips away
penalty.
from him.
You're going to have to retreat back quickly to the front of the net on the
Unbelievable.
one-time.
5 on 3.
Guys wide open on the back door.
Christoph, what's going on?
5 on 3s this year, allowed 1 goal.
I mean, truth be told, it should be a
Bruins are
4-minute
3 for
penalty
7.
to McCabe.
Marchand spins down the goal line.
So it should be
Van
4
Riemsdyk
minutes
back to
of 5 on
Marchand.
4, not 2 minutes
Shot that deflects
of
wide.
5 on
Marner
3.
races to
So
it, and
Boston
back to
actually
Boston,
comes away with an
back down the
extra
ice.
advantage here. Leafs have killed half of it off. Worth it. Rick, it's totally worth
50
it.
seconds to go in the Boston 5 on 3.
Like the Mighty Ducks when the Bash Brothers take the penalty. 2 minutes? Well worth
And he
it.
sets it up. Marchand winds that back for
But
McAvoy.
things are heating up.
McAvoy swings it back to
Prepare to
Pasternak.
fight.
Shoots. Wool makes a stop on that. Geeky racing to it. Liljegren shields him
Take
off.
him out.
Can't get it
Yeah,
out.
Gordon, they're brutal.
DeBrusk, green
They're
block
setting
to
it up.
Marchand.
30 seconds to go. Marchand
Sets
with
it
it.
up again. Now the goal line for DeBrusk. For Marchand. Walks it in. Shoots.
Marchand off the
outside.
post.
Off the outside of the post. Marchand back with it. To the goal off the
Going back door, they score.
Pasternak 5 on 3.
Five on 3. Nice goal there by Pasternak. Max, what's going on? Wayne, Marchand doesn't get calls.
And we talked about Pastrnak.
I'm just kidding. He gets a lot of calls, but that was such a subtle little steer. The refs were more concerned with the cross checks and everything going on. They didn't see that one. 1-0 Boston. Bruins score on the 5-on-3 advantage.
On Morgan Geekie, that is a simple pass.
Great pass by DeBrusk. Great pass by DeBrusk to Pastrnak. Pasta makes no mistake, and he puts that in. Very, very excellent play.
Marchand trying to calm him down, still hot after the initial altercation, but 1-0 Boston.
Bruins have gone
giving up that goal, well worth it for seeing Marchand get taken out. Oh my goodness. Off the stanchion. Funny bounce off the stanchion.
And this took a crazy carom off the corner glass. And
I didn't even see it. I was trying to type in the goal.
Score like that for Montreal against Nashville on Tuesday night.
And that was a tight angle. Grizzly.
Let's see here. Grizzly.
Wall's not going for it. It comes actually off the backboards. Bounce. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
It sits in.
Sitting on top of his skate blade on the line. I've never seen that before. Unbelievable.
Joseph Wall, who has played in this building before, the Boston College Eagles.
First time in the NHL playing here.
Maybe worked on that Karen. Got to pay attention. That was so close.
That was Grizzly shooting it in. His dad is a longtime member of the Bruins ice crew here, so maybe he knows some inside knowledge on where the good bounces are. Wow.
Thank you, Maureen, hitting that
subscribe. Keeps the play onside. Geekie tries to swing that rink wide, knocked down by Riley. There's Witherspoon back for it. Tavares stepped into him. Carlo has a tick away by
JDA, welcome in.
Witherspoon plays it back around for Carlo. Bruins still without Hampus Lindholm, who's been out for the last couple of weeks on their defense.
When he's right, he makes their defense look a lot different. Look out.
Now Geekie tries to
get back in the net, Waller.
Net for a second. Pass deflects back down to the Boston end.
Lewis, he's been so good.
Geekie missed.
Sean, they actually brought their smelling salts with them this game. Last game they ran out. They had to do a run to Costco, but they're actually awake today, so it's good. Keegan, what's going on? That's awesome. Listen, Leafs are playing much better today. Boston coming out and playing really, really hard. It was a great pass from DeBrusk. Pastrnak had a wide open net to finish that in. No chance for Wall. He was not getting across fast enough. But again, shouldn't have even been in that situation to begin with.
Matthews up for the face-off for Toronto.
Here's Marner with a shot. Nice blocker save. Coach, what's going on? Kevin, hello there.
Boston had the first four.
Kevin, it was well worth it.
By Marchand. Chops it back in front. Bouncing puck. And Wool will pounce on that. David Pastrnak has his 39th of the year in the Bruins.
So they're going to go to a commercial break. What an unbelievable turn of events. If you're just coming in, if you missed it, McCabe, I don't know what happened. Mr. Blister, welcome back. McCabe turned around to, where's my stick? I'll have to get my stick. Turned around. Hang on. We can't talk about this without illustrating. McCabe turned around and gave the stick up high to DeBrusk. Caught him like right here, right in the chin. Oh, DeBrusk goes down. As he circles around, Marchand gets one of these, a little stick like this. Little jock test, right? Making sure he's wearing his cup. Jake McCabe didn't like that. He turns around and, gives a cross check. Boom, right to the face of Marchand. Marchand goes down and, my chin hurts. And then, of course, DeBrusk gets in, grabs McCabe. Here comes Matthew Nyes. Matthew Nyes kind of puts the bear hug on him, and then the whole scrum comes on top. So the officials give McCabe 2 minutes for the first cross check to DeBrusk. Agreed. But then they gave Matthew Nyes, the penalty for the bear hug. They called it roughing, which is actually the wrong call. Because if you're going to call that bear hug a rough, you're going to have to call that all night long. What I think they meant to do is actually give the rough to McCabe, who was throwing shots from that pile. So what the call should have been is 4 minutes to Jake McCabe, which meant it would have meant 4 minutes of 5-on-4 hockey. Instead, they got 2 and a 2 which meant a 5-on-3, which led to the goal. So a reffing mistake there leads to the goal, but it was a beautiful, beautiful pass. Beautiful pass. Can't take that away from DeBrusk. And just wait till we get our big defense coming in. It would be very different. P. Disney, what's going on? Welcome in. Someone, oh, that would be so funny. That would be so funny. Nice, Sean. That's awesome, man. Keep up the good work. All right, here they come, getting back from commercial break. Let's bring this back up. See what the Leafs are going to do here. We got 13 minutes to go in a very active first period. Cooney's Workshop coming in with that subscribe. Thank you so much. If you are just coming in, make sure you're smashing that like button, hit that thumbs up, and of course, keep the subscribe train rolling.
2022, 6 straight losses in the regular season.
No, you call it 6 losses. The Leafs call it, if we win tonight, we're 500. One win, 1 loss, 2 overtimes.
Right.
4 points in 4 games.
3 of the 6 Leaf losses have come in extra time. Now McCabe plays it back in, but it's knocked down and brought up by Geekie. And Geekie, a rink wide pass for Van Riemsdyk, the former Leaf, working in. Poke check there by Benoit. Back comes Camp the other way to Reeves, and Ryan Reeves.
Hey, what's up, Jared? I'm at the game. Jared, enjoy the game.
500 pounds of hockey players colliding there. As Bertuzzi, who played for Boston in the playoffs last year, that first round upset loss to Florida. He was terrific. 5 goals, 10 points in the 7 games. They acquired him at the deadline. And Boston paid a price
last year to take a run at getting Bertuzzi and others. Bertuzzi on there buzzing around. Would like to see him get going. Bertuzzi got hot for a cup of coffee. Love to see him get it back.
And I think the Toronto Maple Leafs,
do a quick scroll here. Anything new on the trade update front? Mark Stahl heading back to Florida.
Would be able to come in and
all right, we'll have to take a look at that.
Well this year. Same with Max Domi.
Labushkin high off the glass looking for Nylander. That was knocked away by Mason Lohrei. Up ahead for Pasternak. Lohrei, a terrific rookie for Boston, walks in. Lohrei winds it and shoots, and Wool got a piece of that. Lohrei, a native of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Played at Ohio State University for a couple of years. Second round pick of the Bruins, and he's become a mainstay on their blue line. Labushkin tries to knock that away. Now Dan Heinen works in his second tour of duty with Boston. He lost the puck for a moment, poked ahead by Bertuzzi. Now picked up by Domi. In comes Max Domi with a shot that goes wide. Bertuzzi back down to Domi, knocked away by
Jared
Carlo.
for 2
Domi
months.
tries to steal it right
Best
back.
rivalry of all time. Good luck to
back for the goal line. Lead pass
nice.
to Pasternak,
Jared's
puck.
bringing in some good games.
And McMahon got in the way of that. This will be in Montreal on Saturday.
Jordan's getting set to scrap.
As Grizzly goes back. Picked up now by Tavares. And Grizzly shooting off the puck by Yarncroke, who plays it back for McCabe. Drops that back to McMahon. Now Yarncroke takes it free. Calle Yarncroke back down to Tavares. Tavares back at the point for Brody.
Good cycling by this third line.
McMahon back on it. Tied up there by McAvoy. And Grizzlick back to pick it up. Grizzlick snaps that pass ahead for Boquist. And Grizzlick got spilled there by McMahon behind the play, but it's called offside.
Tavares is really thriving on this third line. I think this was a real good move.
Last night,
Cartoons, what's going on? Welcome in.
Tomorrow.
Travis, good to see you.
A lot going on in the dressing room for the Toronto Maple Leafs for Sheldon Keefe.
Ben, yes, there was a gong at the end of the sound effect I played.
The idea is
but
to get into the first period.
Leafs are moving this third line. Maybe it's because they're not playing, tougher opponents where Tavares usually faces teams better players. But I really think he's thriving on this third line. It was a good move.
And you have a chance to
Ian, what's going on?
Maybe at the beginning.
Totally, Rick. Totally. They're playing much better.
This game was a bit sleepy against Buffalo. To be generous. Benoit plays it around. Carlo
Liljegren taking his man into the boards.
Coyle stepped into Benoit there. Marchand plays it back around. Carlo back on it. Swings that back for DeBrusk. Jake DeBrusk. Long shot goes off the leg of Matthews, and Liljegren has it back. He got spilled hard by Coyle. They battle again behind the goal. Benoit steps into Coyle. Back at the point, there's Witherspoon, a shot that deflects wide.
Physicality definitely picking up here.
9 steps into him. Back at the point, Carlo plays it back in for Boston. Witherspoon around to Marchand. Banks that back, and off the bench comes Geeky. Miscued that. Gets it back and shoots. Wall makes a stop. Rebound loose in front. Geeky a chance. Rebound. DeBrusque turned away. And DeBrusque plays it back to Witherspoon. Across to
Toronto
Marchand,
stuck in their own zone for about a minute.
Back to Marchand. Long wrist shot. Wall
Good
makes
save by Wall.
And is able to hang on. It's the Bruins and Leafs.
Liljegren absolutely. He got double timed in the back. Marchand hit him once. Coyle hit him the second time. Liljegren getting 2-timed behind the net. Not the evening he was counting for, but big physical play by these Boston Bruins. There is definitely some playoff intensity right now going around. Boston with 14 hits, 12 hits for Toronto, and I think that number is going to continue to skyrocket as these teams are playing hard today. This is hockey. This is exactly what we like to see. Now, thank you so much for being here. If you're just tuning in, if you're new to the channel, my name is Sam. Welcome in. We like to have a whole lot of fun while we call and listen to these games. So thank you for being here, being part of our community. Now, if you are able to come in the chat, Brian, what's going on? Only one shot by Toronto. Yeah, that's pretty bad. I wasn't going to mention that just yet. But if you're brand new to the channel, a couple things to know. One, we love some family-friendly trash talking. If you're a Boston fan and you want to come in and slam the Leafs, go right ahead. We just ask that you do it in a respectful way, and also no personal attacks or bullying. We can have fun. You can tell me the Leafs suck, this guy sucks, all that stuff, as long as it's family-friendly and respectful. Now, the fun part, you are earning points just by hanging out and being here. You can check them. There it is. Ryan knows what's up. Ryan's our resident trash talker. You are earning points just by being here. You can check your points at any time by typing !points in the chat. Even if you're not chatting regularly, you can still type it in and it'll tell you how many points you've earned. Then, like Triton just did, you can redeem your points and bring up different graphics. So he's frozen me. So I got to freeze. Dallas bringing the Hulkster out because it is a big wrestling match here today. So there's Leaf graphics, Boston graphics for you to have fun with all stream long. Gerard, what's going on? Of course, I think the Leafs can pull this one out too. Brett, what's going on? Dan, welcome in. Good to see you. Welcome. There it is. Dan getting his gamble on. That's something channel members have access to. Brian checking his points. That's exactly how you do it. All right, Leafs are too soft. Well, they're getting tougher. They're standing their own ground. And, of course, with that trade they made, that's going to be a huge impact on the backside. Let's bring this up and get back to the game at hand.
And Tim Thomas made a toe save on Brian Gionta in the first overtime in Game 7 before Nathan Horton scored the overtime winner and sent them on their way. The margin between victory and defeat so slim.
Down 2-0 in the final against Vancouver. Had to go into Vancouver in Game 7, got it done. And this was a team that would have been famous for blowing a 3-0 lead the year before had they not gotten it done. But no one cares about 2010 now.
And by the way, their Conn Smythe Trophy winners, the playoff MVP, Tim Thomas, they tried to give him away the year before and no one would take him.
That guy
Peter,
for
it's
about
right
3 years
beside me.
played goal about the highest level we've ever seen, maybe other than Dominic Hasek.
Brody goes back as Pasternak moves in on him. Those were heady days here in Boston. Celtics won the NBA title in 2008. The Patriots were annual Super Bowl champions. It's played back down to the Toronto zone.
So an icing call. This is going to bring it into the Boston
Members of that
zone.
2011 team. In fact, they're honoring their decade team from 2010 to 2019. But they were here this morning at the Bruins morning skate. They're staying at our hotel.
Yeah, Wayne, we talked about that at the top. It's an interesting pick. I don't think he's ever going to see the light of day. I have a sneaking suspicion that was a move to be part of a bigger deal. They're either bringing him in to start building some good prospects, some big prospects, or he's going to be flipped as part of another deal. Potentially in the St. Louis deal if it's still continuing. Brian, it'll put it in the chat. So it'll put it in the chat.
Late pass for Zaka out of his reach. Trying to see Claude Julien embracing Brad Marchand, now the captain here in Boston. You could not have foreseen that over a decade ago. Marchand and Julian had famous and public battles here in Boston. There's Riley, a long shot saved by Swayman, bouncing around in front. And played back down to the leaf line as Riley knocks it down. 8-2, the shots on goal in favor of Boston. A 1-0 lead on a 5-on-3 goal by David Pastrnak. Austin Matthews winds in. Shoots, and Swayman, the quick stop there.
Matthew Nyes just got blindsided, and he is shaken up.
It's very slow to get to
Nyes very slow. Nyes is hurt.
Nyes got to go off.
Nyes can't even hold his stick. He's hurt. He's holding his arm in.
Turning
Yikes.
the same way, and hopefully he's just grabbing at his nose. He was cut, and not something worse.
Carlo back for it. Brandon Carlo up for Jake DeBrusk. That's knocked down by Matthews. McMahon comes out with this line as Matthews spins back, and he'll go off. 7 to go here in the opening period. Brody.
Hope that's not good. Hope Nyes is okay.
Winds it across the
That's
Boston
my boy.
line. Ben Riemsdyk
Friend
got a
of the
stick on him.
channel.
Witherspoon back for it. And Tavares seals the wall, knocks that free for Yarncroke. It bounces by Brody and back to center ice. Pass picked off by Frederick. Frederick works in, shoots, goal to stop, rebound, bouncing around in front, knocked away by Yarncroke.
Boston winning all these little puck battles.
Plays it back in the corner, and Riemsdyk centers it. Yarncroke knocks it down. Off for McMahon. And again, at least don't clear it out, Frederick.
All these board battles in defensive zone hurting Toronto.
I just said that.
Poor Geeky. Geeky centers it, and it's just out of the reach of Frederick. McAvoy jumps up. Tavares and Frederick are tied up in front of the Toronto goal. And that battle continues as Tavares steps into him.
Wayne, I have
Now
nothing.
Yarncroke, another chance.
Yarncroke's the only guy who seems to have his legs in tonight's game right now amongst the forward group for Toronto.
Leafs are changing.
Desmond, how's it going? Oh, you want the Leafs to win.
Works in center.
Great save, Wall. Wow. Beautiful save.
They were teammates last year with the Marlies, and Brazo almost scored there. Riley again doesn't clear it out. Carlo knocks it down. Picked up by Brazo. Into a New Liskeard, Ontario.
Skate now. You got to move your feet away from the forechecker. Give yourself some space if you can.
Grzelcyk out to center ice. Labushkin knocks
Just
it back
over
down
5
to the
minutes to
Boston
go
zone.
here in the first period.
And here is Carlo with it.
John, they're already playing better than they did the
McKay
last
back to
two,
pick it
so
up.
they're getting there.
Matthew Nyes has gone to the Leafs dressing room now.
Oh boy.
He stayed on the bench until just right now, and I wonder if the protocol spotter pulled him.
Now Nylander winds in. William Nylander with a chance. Almost wrapped
Shoot
it
the
around
puck.
there. Throws it back in front of it. Nyes' discarded stick that's still out there. Here's Domi with it. Throws it back in the corner.
Why have
Benoit
the officials
jumps up.
not picked up the stick? It's been on there for
Crisscrossing
5
there with
minutes.
Nylander. Nylander throws it back in front. That's picked up by Witherspoon. And he moves it ahead for Boston to Pastrnak. Center ice, Domi pokes it free. And with Nylander and Bertuzzi. That's knocked down by Heinen and played back to center ice. And here's TJ Brody with it. For Liljegren.
Yarncroke getting a run in place of Matthew Nyes.
Diamond, how's it going?
Carlo. Marchand, that was knocked away by Matthews.
Jansen, what's up?
Yarncroke gets crunched there by Marchand.
Thank you for hitting that thumbs up for us.
Charlie Coyle's
Matthews steals it.
so far for
Matthews.
Boston. Matthews in, shoots off the skate of Carlo, and now Matthews got spun around by Coyle. Matthews picks it back up. Plays that back to Liljegren. Knocked down by Marner. Marner looks ahead to Matthews. The bouncing puck knocked down by Carlo, but stolen back by Matthews. Hard shot there by Yarncroke. Knocked away by Swayman. Brody shoots. That goes wide. Liljegren holds the line to Yarncroke. Back into Matthews. Leafs are changing. Matthews shoots. And Swayman got a piece of that. Marchand with it. Duck the check of McMahon. Knocks it back down the ice. And
Icing call.
Icing call.
Barely an icing
against
call.
the Bruins.
This is coming back down to the Bruins territory. You know, one thing I'm noticing here, and it's very bizarre. Every time Boston's going to the boards for these puck battles, when they get the puck, they're turning the back to the outside, so they're facing the boards. So as Toronto's coming in to hit, they have to hold up almost every time because they don't want to hit from behind. So Boston is using that to their strategy to kind of turn behind. So Nyes showed a replay there. Nyes holding his mouth, also holding his arm. Another dirty play by the Rat, Marchand. The hits are about equal. 21 for Boston, 20 for Toronto. So they're matching the Bruins in terms of physicality. Swayman going to hold that down. Tavares taking a little swing at somebody as this one is going to go to commercial break. They're definitely picking it up. Toronto definitely is matching that physicality. But right now, Boston just has better puck control. If you're just coming in and joining us, thanks for being here. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up. We're on our way to 150 likes and then on to 200. So tap that thumbs up. And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe and stick around. We're going to be back Saturday night, Toronto and Montreal. That is going to be an absolute beauty of a game. That I assume we're going to see Edmondson in the lineup for that game. He is just arriving in Boston. He actually was arriving right around 7 o'clock or so. So he wasn't able to get into tonight's game, but I expect we'll probably see him Saturday, and that is going to be a huge, huge difference maker in terms of some physicality on the back end, clearing guys out of the net so the goaltenders can actually see. And he's a big boy, 6'5". It's tough. It's tough to see. I'd like to see it again a little slower. He definitely got caught. Russell, what's going on? Welcome in. He definitely got caught, tried to brace himself, which might have done more damage. I think he saw it at the last second. Liquid, what's up? Because of broadcast rights and copyright. Otherwise, we'd love to. Yeah, that's the NHL has decided to do that. You know, they're blacked out in certain markets, and a lot of these other sites, Sportsnet has Sportsnet Plus, you know, subscription service, all that fun stuff. So, unfortunately, it's just the way it is. But glad you found us. Glad you're here to hang out with us and have some fun. They're just coming back from commercial break. We got a couple of minutes left here in this first period. And then we're going to break down all the trades that have occurred today.
The voting by the public poll.
Feels like he deserves at this point. At some point.
Well, deserves got nothing to do.
White trash guy. I suddenly stopped liking you just for a minute.
Bob probably been running as well. Charlie Coyle, the period he's had.
Yeah, he's
all physically. He's a big, strong player, having a fantastic year.
And again, you write the Bruins off last year. They all the injuries to start the year. They got to the best start in franchise history this year. No Bergeron, no Krejci.
No problem.
Yep.
Lundgren, great shot up high, big rebound in front. They can't shovel it in.
Knocked down the line by Riley. That seemed to rattle Swayman a bit. Back at the point is Lundgren again. Shoots it down. Matthews throws it back in front. That's knocked away by Grizz looking back down the ice.
Can you imagine?
And Charlie Coyle,
Richard,
the 1 and 2 center spots.
That would never happen.
Not missed a beat.
Not in such a close game.
Another weird bounce.
A lot of weird bounces off the boards. Thank you for hitting that subscribe. If you're watching along on the TV, thank you for being here, putting us on your big screen.
He did the stanchion right at the goal line and went in.
It was a acute angle. Unless you're Staros, then it was an ugly angle.
Yeah, it was an obtuse angle. There's Loy with it. Camp steps into him.
Reeves stepping up with a hit. Camp with a hit.
And McCabe back to pick it up. Boston still trying to chase down Florida for the division lead, but the Panthers almost never lose. Reeves throws it back in front, just out of the reach of Camp. Gregor back on it. Plays it down to Camp. Tied up by Heinen. Played across by Labushkin to Benoit. Reeves plays it back in the corner. Shots closing a bit now. 10-7 Boston.
A lot of stick checks. Don't like these stick checks. Every play has a cross check going on. If you're going to hit somebody, hit them. Here we go. No, I thought we were getting a fight. I thought something was going on.
Reeves probably can't touch it. But Labushkin's got it all in front of him. You can't.
Reeves was having words with a Boston player there.
Hurt yourself.
Minor penalty. penalty for too many men on the ice.
And they're getting a too many men on the ice penalty.
Penalty on Toronto.
Again, Toronto with the too many men on the ice.
Reeves is going for a change. Nylander hops because he's there. And Reeves at some level too. If you're looking to change, don't present your stick like you want to
Reeves'
pass,
fault.
right? Put your stick
Reeves'
up on your
fault on
knees.
that one. Reeves was going to the bench. Reeves is at the bench. Nylander hops on the ice, and then Reeves accepts the pass.
Too many men.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how close they are.
Right.
That's a moot point.
So Reeves was going to the bench. Nylander jumped on before the door even opened for Reeves to come off, and Reeves took the puck. So he's in the box for too many men on the ice. Toronto shorthanded again here.
There's Zacha with it. Down to Pasternak for Van Riemsdyk. That's poked away by Woll. At the side of the goal, a rolling puck knocked down by McCabe, and Yarncoat clears it down. These too many men penalties have dogged Toronto all year long.
I mean, that's a penalty that should never happen. Thank you for hitting that subscribe. Appreciate it.
Marner drops that back. Zacha knocked it down. McAvoy slides it back across to Kiki. Slap pass in front. And Zacha couldn't corral the bouncing puck.
So this is Boston's move now. They go back door.
To Toronto this year.
They go back door and try and put it in each and every time. And they're getting their passes through. They just can't hit the net.
Marner on his backhand, able to shovel that back out.
It was such a good pass.
30 seconds to go. 30 seconds to go here in the first period. Yeah, Peter, that would be incredible.
By Benoit, now the play's offside.
With 20 seconds to go
in the period.
So here's the
Toronto, not a great first period. We'll break down all the numbers. Now we're going to go through all the trades.
Look at that. And
thank you so much for hitting that
just to drive that towards the net, but
welcome to the show.
Took a second to corral it. David Pasternak, there's nothing he can't do.
It was a nice play to Geeky. Geeky received that pass very nicely.
Long shooting, knocked down by Swayman. Brought out now by Shattenkirk.
One last opportunity. 8 seconds on the clock. Boston bringing it in.
Down the period. Nylander. Hard rim
Putting
sends
it around,
it back
that's
down
going
the
to do
ice. And there will be 39 seconds of power play time to carry over into the second period.
That's going to do it. Period has come to an end. Let's go to the intermission. We got a lot to break down in a very short amount of time to do it. So here we go. All right, here we go in this period. 10 shots for Boston, 7 for Toronto. They came back pretty good. Hits, dead even, 23 hits apiece, 10 face-offs to 5. Toronto winning in the face-off circle. Boston, of course, 1 for 3 on the power play. Toronto did not get a power play opportunity in this period. Giveaways, 5 for Toronto, 4 for Boston. In the block shot category, 6 blocks for Toronto, 3 for Boston. So pretty much an even game. When you look at the stats, they are a pretty darn even game. But again, in Boston, the goal they scored was kind of a mistake by the officials. Instead of giving a 5-on-4 for 4 minutes, Boston coming away with a 5-on-3, and with a 2-man advantage, they were able to score. So a referee's mistake costs Toronto the goal. But let's break it down. And actually, what do I want to do? Where do we want to go? Maybe should we do this first? Let's see if we can bring this up here real quick and show this. Because there's so much to go over. We might have to push the trades to the second intermission, but I want to show some of these highlights, some of these clips. Can we get, do they have a close-up? No, of course not. Oh yeah, here's a close-up. This is exactly what I wanted. Okay, so let's bring this up here. Give me one moment while we bring this up. We're going to take a look at a couple of these plays here. And we're going to break this all down. So we got to go here. It'll just take me a moment to get this set up. I wasn't planning on doing this. But since we got a lot going on, I think it's worthwhile to break this down. So stay with me. All right, so what we're going to do here is we're going to look at the hit on Matthew Knies. We're going to take a quick peek at this hit here for Matthew Knies. So it's not great quality, but you'll be able to see it. How do we bring this to life? All right, so we should see this up on the screen now. So what happened here is it was kind of not a good play, right? Coming across, here's Knives. You see Marchand coming to your picture. He catches him. He actually has the elbow tucked. He has the elbow tucked, so it's not an elbow. He follows through with the arm push here. And he kind of left his feet. Look at that, both feet in the air. So Marchand actually leaves his feet 2 feet up in the air to hit Matthew Knies in the face. So not a big fan of that, but that's where Knives kind of took it and get knocked down. So not a good play there. We're gonna scroll through and bring you the other one here, the cross-checking penalty. We'll take a quick peek at that. Here's the wall skate. This was a great shot. Let me see if we can. Do we get a zoom in here? Oh yeah. We talked before about Joseph Woll and how this puck came through and almost went in the net. Here's a screenshot. Here's a screenshot. Look how close. The puck is literally sitting on the skate blade of Joseph Woll just here on the line. That is how close that puck came to going in. So an absolutely stellar stop there. B-Man 199, thank you so much for hitting that super chat again. Much appreciated. Now the cross check. We want to get these cross checks. Here we go. All right, perfect. Does this have both of them? Yes. All right, we're going to bring this up. So we're going to bring this one up here. Let's take a look. All right. So cross check coming up here in the face. Pretty gnarly hit. You can see right here in the bottom corner of the screen, the stick is already up. That cross check right there, right in the, actually it almost got him first in the top of the chest, and then he kind of pushes it up towards the face. If we fast forward a bit right here, you see Marchand, he actually swipes at the puck. And maybe that's why they didn't call it, but you can kind of see where his stick is. His stick is right in between the legs of Jake McCabe. So Marchand swipes at the puck, but then he gets Marchand right in between McCabe in between the legs. McCabe doesn't like that, and he turns to Marchand and he goes, "Hey, how's your dentist?" And he gives it to him. And again, it's kind of the top of the chest, not necessarily the face. So that is what took place in the first period of play. Some pretty gnarly stuff. But I mean, those are kind of some of those highlights. I mean, pretty brutal, right? Pretty brutal. All right, let's get into some of this conversation. Duke, what's going on? I know you can't stay long. Thanks for being here. Denver, Marchand gets away with a lot, but he covers it up pretty well, right? He covers it up. I've been a Leaf fan over 60 years. I guarantee you in the old days that Rat Marchand would have left the building. Oh, yeah. It would have been a whole different ball game if that had happened, right? Back in the day, that stuff, you couldn't get away with that. Of course, Marchand jumped nice as 6'2". Surprised he didn't use a ladder. That's really funny. Daryl, it was so close, that play. It was absolutely incredibly close. Everyone in hockey knows how dirty Marchand is, why the refs don't focus on him. It's the most bizarre thing. It's crazy. Absolutely bizarre. I want that sequence looped as a screensaver. Mark, that's outstanding. It's so funny. All right, let's go into some of these trades. Let's go into some of these trades because there's a lot of them, and we'll fly through them real quickly here. Of course, we talked about it earlier. Toronto Maple Leafs. Oh, bringing out the Coyote. Love the Coyote. Hayden. Oh, I'm not surprised. Hayden bringing out the Coyote. Toronto got ragdoll this period. Denver, they certainly did. Listen, the stats were close, but Boston was definitely the better team. They were the stronger team for sure. I agree with you there. The Leafs picking up Joel Edmondson. We talked about him off the top for a couple of draft picks, a 24 third rounder and a 25 fifth rounder. This is a pretty decent move. Again, 6'5", 224 pounds. He's 30 years old. He absolutely is a monster. We saw what he did with Montreal in the playoffs, clearing people out in front of the net. He's a stay-at-home defenseman. So again, a really, really nice size to him. He's not going to come in and get you a gazillion points, but he will be solid in the back end. Now he is a little bit, let's see here. Why can't I find his current contract? Well, that's a little bizarre. Let's see if we can bring this up. I believe his salary, some of it has been retained, so that's good news. So really, he's $875 this year on the books, and he's an UFA for next year. So we bring him in as a UFA. Potentially, there's an opportunity there that Toronto can re-sign him, but it gives him a big, big defense at a cheap price. So I like this move a lot. Nashville Predators, they did some signings the other day, but they send a 5th round pick this year to Chicago in exchange for Anthony Bouvier. Again, a little bit of a depth player here for Nashville, coming in to play the left side. Nashville preparing themselves for a playoff run, which is going to be pretty good. Cousin Ron, what's going on? Welcome in. Good to see you. Montreal getting in the mix with Anaheim. Anaheim very active right now. Jacob Perreault heading to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for Jan Mysak. Colorado still making moves. They pick up Brendan Duhaime from the Minnesota Wild in exchange for a 26 third round pick. The Edmonton Oilers, they pick up Troy Stecher on defense and a 24th 7th round pick in exchange for a 27th 4th round pick going to Arizona. So the Oilers picking up a D there. The Colorado Avalanche not done yet. They're going to pick up Yakov Trenin and Graham Sward from the Nashville Predators. Nashville picking up another D, Jeremy Hansel, and a 25 third round pick. They pick up Hansel, but where is Gretel? So those are the trades. Those are the moves so far. It's been a very busy day. Again, a lot of stuff just coming in. And the last one, just about 5 o'clock, was Cole Weber. Toronto acquiring Cole Weber in exchange for a 6th round pick in 2026. Couple signings taking place today, and it's those Florida Panthers getting some ink to paper, which I love. Love these signings. Oh, you missed Luke too. I assume Luke Shen, is that who we're talking about? Yeah, Luke Shen would be absolutely brilliant to have in this lineup right now. He would be spectacular. But here's the signings. We talked yesterday about Florida picking up Tarasenko. Today, the Florida Panthers sign for 8 years at $5.75 Gustav Forsling. Forsling signing an 8-year deal to remain in Florida. I love this signing. I like Forsling a lot. They also sign Yona Gadovich for 2 years at $775 cap hit. So 2 nice signings that I like a lot. And of course, the St. Louis Blues, they re-signed Oscar Sundqvist, $1.5 million for 2 years. So the Blues getting a deal done. And then the Dallas Stars signed Connor Punnett, 3 years at an entry-level deal. That deal, the dollar amount isn't exactly released. So those are the signings and the trades today. A whole lot going on. But what would be nothing dumb trade? Denver, but you don't know what they're doing. So you can't really come out and say it's a dumb trade as of yet. Cole Weber is a big boy. Listen, he's playing in the NCAA right now. They could be picking him up to flip him as a prospect as part of another trade. They could be looking to set up their minor league system with a big player. Giving up a 6th round pick in the 2026 draft means nothing. So picking up a player now that potentially will come out of college and be a big boy, a big defense, is better than gambling on a 6th-round pick 2 years from now. So I actually like that move. XY, what's going on? Welcome it. Let's see. Toronto trades are not improvements. Denver, they absolutely are improvements. Oh, Denver. I appreciate you. Let's see here. What's going on? Who else am I missing? I know I'm missing a couple of folks in here. Let me just scroll back. Gilmore on the TSN studio. Love Dougie. Anytime we see Doug Gilmore show up, it's special. Yeah, he's got a lot of potential, right? But again, I don't think he's actually going to play. I have a sneaking suspicion that he's going to be part of a deal, being traded as part of a package. I'm hoping this is part of the Perienko deal. I'm hoping this is still a potential. I'm scrolling the sources right now to see if there's any new updates. Again, as of 6 o'clock, Toronto was still in working with the St. Louis Blues. So I don't know if we'll hear something tonight, but we'll certainly see. Social media is blowing up about Jake McCabe, the new hero in Toronto for taking out Marchand with the cross check. Absolutely love it. People are going nuts over him. Let's give a big shout out for Jake McCabe. Well, let me turn this back up. Jake McCabe, in honor of your cross check. Draft picks are magic beans. They certainly are. Shop Girl, what's going on? Welcome in. They certainly are magic beans. You never know. When you get down into those lower rounds, you never know what you're going to get. 6th-round draft picks are like a box of chocolates. I'm not seeing anything new coming up. But boy, oh boy, oh boy. A lot of action. Oh, what's this? So here, Nick Cousins. Oh, no, where did that go? Looks like Nick Cousins has been fined by the Florida Panthers for embellishment. This is the first time I've heard of a player fined for embellishment. Wow. This is coming out just now. The Florida Panthers forward Nick Cousins has been fined $2,000. Like, what is $2,000 to these players? These fines from Player Safety Committee are crazy. Under Rule 64, diving embellishment. Rule 64 is designed to bring attention to and more seriously penalize players and teams who repeatedly dive and embellish in an attempt to draw penalties. Fines are assessed to player and head coaches on a graduated scale. So player fines, the first time it's a warning, the second time it's $2,000. Cousins was issued a warning following an incident flagged by NHL hockey operations during the game number 168 at Chicago on November 4th. His second citation, which issued the fine, was for the incident during the game versus Buffalo on February 27th. All the money from the fines go to the Players' Emergency Assistance Fund. So Nick Cousins getting a fine for embellishment. And what that essentially means, the NHL is going to take a closer look at anything Nick Cousins does. And we know Nick Cousins can be a little dirty. And as a Panther fan, I can gladly say that. So Nick Cousins getting a fine, and the NHL is going to be all over him now for the next little while. And if everything Cousins has done, he gets a fine. Right, Hayden? Makes no sense. NHL player safety? You're making smoke come out of my ears. I don't understand how that happens. I got to say, I can't stand Marchand. Never could. He's a nasty piece. Charlie, you are right. He is absolutely nasty. Sarah's given Jake 4 stars. Sarah, not 5? $2,000 fine. He spends half that on dinner, right? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I don't understand. I feel a Jake suspension coming. Lee, I don't think so. I don't think he'll get suspended. He was only given a 2-minute, right? A 2-minute minor penalty. It wasn't a major, wasn't 4 minutes. I would be shocked if he gets suspended for that. I would be shocked. I'm already blowing my mind over what happened with what's his name, Pobstill. I posted the short the other day where he cross-checked the Seattle Kraken player from behind and only got 3 games, but Morgan Riley picked up 5 for what he did. You got to check out my short if you haven't seen it. It's absolutely mind-blowing. All right, intermission has come to an end. We're getting set for the second period. Let's hop back over. And let's get ready to drop the puck. Thank you so much, everybody, coming in, hitting those subscribes. Where are we with the likes? 150 on the likes. So this period, we're going to see if we can surpass 200 likes. Our goal is 200 likes. And let's see if we can pick up. Let's see if we can get to 10,350. That's a lofty goal for today. But let's see if we can get to 10,350 on the subscriber front. Cousins fine, McCabe gone for like Cam. Wouldn't that be absolutely ridiculous? It's bonkers how a lot of that works. But the Leafs got to wake up. Hopefully they had a good conversation in the locker room. Hopefully they talked some sense into each other. And they're set to go. We're ready to drop the puck. Let's bring this up. Of course, the Leafs picking up 3 penalties in the first period. Hopefully now Toronto will get a chance on the power play.
Penalties on that sequence would have been a 5-on-4 for 4 minutes.
And I think we had it correct. They just misidentified
They adjusted the shots on net. Initially,
right.
they had it 10. They've changed it to 7 for Toronto, 9 for
Much
Boston.
better chance to kill that off than 2 minutes of 5-on-3.
So we got 40 seconds left of power play action for the Boston Bruins. Boston starts it on the power play.
Mark Masters mentioned
thank you for hitting those likes. Appreciate it.
As Marchand winds in. Throws it back in front for Coyle. Plays it back across to Pasternak. Pasternak centers a tip wide by Coyle.
Who's the worst offender for causing penalties in the NHL? For causing penalties.
Throws it back to Marner. By the way,
that's a good question.
Boston University this year is the first prize for the draft lottery winner. Macklin Celebrini having an outstanding freshman season at BU. Marchand winds his way in, throws that back down to Pasternak. No shots for Boston.
Power play expires. We are back at even strength. That one was done.
Can Toronto kick in the gear here?
Causing penalties.
Is that hit the lines, but the line, no, DeBuss back with it. The play is offside.
I'm not sure, Trent. I'm not sure who is.
So we were watching the Leafs bench to start the second period, and Matthew Nyes not on it.
Matthew Nyes has not returned to the bench.
Was
now, ladies and gentlemen, I have to tell you, we sustained a little bit of an injury during the game yesterday, so I got to bring out the ice pack.
I don't think he's exploding at the Nyes. He's
we were set to go. We had the gloves, the stick, the bucket.
I don't think it's an
and during one of the virtual waves going around, I re-aggravated my shoulder injury. So we've been on and off with the heat and the ice all day. So who says streaming doesn't hurt?
Gonna have to make some adjustments.
Re-aggravated the old shoulder.
Fires it down, it bounces off the glass.
Doing the wave can be dangerous.
Around for Labushkin. Picked up by Trent Frederick, but now here's Marner with it. Mitch Marner. Now tied for 5th in the Leafs all-time assist list with Thomas Kaberle.
I agree with that, Dan.
A helper last night. Matthews tries to poke the head, knocked away from him by Frederick.
Gets suspended for hurting myself.
Goes rink wide for DeBrus. That's knocked away by Riley.
The shoulders
now
just
Matthews
don't turn
tries to
how
flip
they
it,
should.
and Marner goes racing to it. Wins that battle for the puck. Drops it back. Benoit's shot got through, and Swayman makes the stop. Zaka back with it. Off the glass and back down to the Leaf line.
I think we should kick this period off with a wave. All you got to do is get your wave emojis up. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Hey, get him up, and I'm only doing one hand.
Point Benoit's shot, that deflected wide. Lonergan steps up, looks down to Tavares. Tavares trying to fish that back in front for McMahon.
Pop it off there. Hit the net and get it off there, McMahon.
Got cross-checked by Boquist there and couldn't quite get to it.
A quick little chop.
There it is, the hands coming up. What's up, Anastasia?
Was a quiet night last night for Marner and Matthews until overtime, where Marner worked his magic, got it to Austin Matthews for the game winner, and with that assist, he tied Thomas, little Cabby, little teammate.
Thomas Kaberle.
Tremendous pass for the puck.
437
you'd like to think that by the end of next year, he'll be at a Dave Keon ahead of him. And this was Mitch Marner at his absolute best, drawing in everyone and just kicking it out for a finish.
Even if you've never been in our chat before, come on in, get those hands up, get your wave on.
And
just don't hurt yourself.
For the Maple Leafs last night.
Leafs have gotten major production from those to Matthews. 21 goals his last 21 games. Yarncrook feeds that around for Brody with a shot. Swayman the save, and
good save.
Jeremy Swayman able to hang on to that. So Jeremy Swayman is the interesting story for Boston. He's a restricted free agent at the end of the year.
Where's the roughing there?
With arbitration rights. He had a bruising arbitration hearing with Boston last summer. Talked about how it's hard to hear those things in arbitration.
If Nyes gets a penalty for hugging a guy, where's the penalty for the shove into the boards
in the NHL
15 seconds after the
wide
whistle?
margin. His contract's got a year to go. Swayman's now the #1 guy in Boston.
And if Boston had to create some cap space, there has been rumblings that Ullmark could be, for a very steep price, available to somebody. He looked pretty good in LA, I would imagine, or Jersey.
Coming off an extraordinary season last year for Boston. He's been hard luck this year. Lost in overtime to Edmonton on Tuesday night. He's winless in his last 6 starts. 5 of those are overtime defeats. Now drop back by Geeky. Weathers put a hard shot. Rebound loose in front. Taking for it is Brazo. And Wool makes the stop as his goal stick goes flying and hangs on to that.
And so, you know what? I know it's hard in an arbitration. You can't put yourself in his skates. But I would just say, hey, check the stats. Because right now, I'm second, only behind Ullmark. 44-12-12 in the last 2 years of Swayman. And he's unquestionably taken over
Nylander
the
is leading this team in points right now.
You can beat me up all you want. I'll keep taking arm decisions for $7 million and walk out the door when I'm 26.
Ullmark's career save percentage is .918. That's the highest of any
Nylander,
active NHL
he was
goaltender.
leading at 84
Minimum
points
200
for Willie in 62 games. 34 goals, 50
So a big
assists.
sample size.
Yeah.
So they are deep in a position where a lot of teams are not.
Compared to Matthews. Matthews only has 26
Bushkin steps up.
Well, Matthews is scoring a lot.
McAvoy
He's not
back with it.
passing
Charlie
the puck. He's not
McAvoy
getting those assists.
up for Grizzlick. And slapped
I'd
up
rather
by
have a
Sakic,
guy
trying to find
40,
Pasternak. That pass
45
missed.
goals.
And the Bruins are
picking
called
up
for
60,
icing.
70
Boston
assists
has the second best record
than having
in the league
somebody
this
with
year,
70 goals,
trailing only the Florida
35
Panthers
assists.
and their roommates here.
That's why
Celtics
Nylander is getting
the Celtics have the best record in the NBA.
He has
by
31
a wide
power
margin.
play points.
I'm thinking,
Nylander does.
this has been
Matthews only
Toronto's
has
plight the
24.
last half-decade. The 2 best teams in the league. Guess where they play?
In their division.
It was Tampa and Boston forever, and now it's Florida and Boston.
Marner, a long shot, tipped in front, Swayman save. Littleton throws it back for Matthews. That pass just misfired. Now Matthews back on it, brings it back around, picked up by Riley. Morgan Riley back for Marner. Pasternak was almost off to the races. They're going to put that high, and Riley's shot was blocked, and that shook up Charlie McAvoy. He's down. Brought in by Matthews.
Matthews going 5-hole. Nice save by Swayman, but McAvoy
down in the corner for Boston.
It was a nothing shot that he blocked. I wonder if the follow through the stick got him in an area that's uncomfortable, because there is not a lot going on there. It was a backhand and he's down. And Riley, does his stick get him?
Oh, the puck got him.
The puck gets him.
Right.
The puck.
In a place that's uncomfortable. And
a lump of coal. Oh, right in between. That went
he's still
groin left,
his
center,
way back to his
groin
feet.
right, and down.
Charlie
Ouch.
McAvoy.
That hit all 3 pieces in there for McAvoy.
He's the 3rd best defenseman
My
in the world.
goodness.
I mean, if you're going to give McCarr and Hughes sort of 1-2 right now,
But he's back
he
up.
put
He's
up
going
points
off.
like
He's going to
Yossi
need the frozen peas and
or
carrots.
whatever it might be, or Noah
That
Dobson
one
this year.
hurts.
And he's heading right down the tunnel as well.
Jake, that was a great
But
move.
he is the modern era elite level 2-way physical defender. And he's the anchor to whatever Boston wants to do.
Over 25 minutes a night, which is a rarity now in the NHL for a D-man to play that much.
It's not like he doesn't score. He's got 42 points.
Let's get this one back going. Come on, it's time to pick it up.
The update being given to Boston coach Jim Montgomery.
I think he's got the outdoor gear on with the celebratory jacket.
Yeah. Julie,
He's got the shark spray. He'll be okay.
In the pregame ceremony honoring the
Zelda,
2011
how's it
championship
going?
team. These guys look pretty good. Of course, Chara's running in
scored
marathons like
again
every other
tonight.
weekend now.
Not surprising.
I think a couple.
Tavares shoots. That's off the stick of Boqvist. Back in the corner. Here's Domi back with it. Max Domi for Tavares. That pass skipped away from Nylander, picked up by Liljegren. Nylander. Hard pass down for Domi. Here's Liljegren back with it. Lots of traffic
Boston's
in front. Domi
taking up
spins
these
and shoots
shooting
at the
lanes
flex wide.
really well. Boston's
Riley
playing
back on it.
spectacular positional
Back
hockey.
in.
right
Tavares picks it up. Puts it back around for Domi. At the point
Toronto's
is
got nowhere to
Nylander
shoot.
walks right in.
Nylander, nice move. Now
lines
he's
in.
got a lane.
Dances around Frederick.
And he loses it. Oh, no. Frederick with a breakaway. Nylander trying to come back. He shoots. He scores. Oh, no.
A little bobble by Nylander.
Just as you're trashing Nylander, Nylander has the puck hop on him and he drops it. Frederick picks it up and goes all the way down the ice.
Zone shift, late in the
Willie
shift,
made a
Willie
nice
Nylander.
play. He spins around, and as he comes across, the puck rolls off his stick, and Frederick coming all the way down and goes 5-hole on Joseph Wall.
5-hole on
A
the
bad
ice.
turnover and
Joseph Wall,
just a
squeeze those
missed
past
play
them.
here
It's
by
hard to
Wall.
complain about Nylander's turnover here. He's done this all year long with great success. You trust him to handle the puck in those situations.
My goodness.
He just overskates it, can't catch Frederick. And Frederick's season, incredible offensive season, continues.
17th of the year. So remember, on Monday night, Nylander got benched for the second half of the first period for a defensive decision. And Sheldon Keefe was careful to say, you know, there's physical mistakes, then there's decisions. And Nylander got benched for that. That long lead pass misses Marner, and icing call against the Leafs.
And this feels more like an execution decision. He's allowed to play with the puck at the top of the zone when he's by himself. Does it all the time. He's just a little stick check by Frederick, knocks it off his tape, and usually he's able to catch.
That one hurts. The Leafs are starting to
showing
get
some pretty
shots,
good wheels because
starting
he
to get
doesn't
some
close the
pressure.
gap.
Listen, this is a play Nylander makes all the time. I can't fault him for trying to make it. The puck
With
gets
Nylander
poked off the stick. Nice play by Frederick, and comes
5-hole
down.
Knowing that Frederick was not going to go the big move because he was getting chased the way he was.
Yeah, that's brutal. That can't happen. That can't happen.
After a few moments of discomfort. Marner back with it. Matthews quick chance there. The Samwelb penalty coming down to Boston. Matthews drops it back, and it's hammered wide by
Finally,
Brody.
Boston's going to get a
Extra
penalty.
skaters on the ice. McCabe with it.
Coyle is all over McCabe.
Now there's one penalty coming to Boston.
So call another one.
And Bertuzzi gets a high stick in the face, and he's cut and bleeding.
Bertuzzi's showing him the blood.
This should be a 5-on-3.
And he's going to win the argument as Jake Brink is going to check in with Francis Chiron. I mean,
the first one
the
was
last
well
thing
before
Bertuzzi
that.
needs is to lose another tooth.
We just learned.
Krista, it's aggravated a shoulder injury doing the wave
Then
yesterday.
It's 5-on-4 for 4 minutes.
And the Leafs were like, well, hang on.
Right.
It's the exact same situation. So the initial call was much earlier. There's Bertuzzi fouling away with Coyle. And their call was already made at this point. So nothing going on here. And then
Two cross checks to the back, one cross check to the face of Coyle. And then while Bertuzzi's down, Coyle continues to cross check and push on him.
2 minutes for the original call, which was made.
Right.
And then a double minor for the high stick if he's bleeding. Like, that's unquestionably.
So this should be 6 minutes and penalties.
Here's Brink with the call.
Boston number 13, 2 minutes for slashing and 2 minutes for high sticking.
You flipping kidding me?
Minor. It's 5-on-4 for 4 minutes.
Are you kidding me?
If he's bleeding,
the second one should be.
Look at his lip.
Should be 4.
I mean,
what an atrocity!
The term is actually injury.
This is the key. This is the case that Sheldon Keefe is making.
Well, he should be a double minor on the second one.
2 minutes.
You can't argue
5-on-3.
The short end and a missed call
and then
before.
2
you
minutes.
misinterpreted a guy going to the box.
Sorry.
They made a mistake, but
yeah, 2 minutes.
Here's the first one.
5-on-3.
Okay, there's the first penalty. It's been called.
And then 2 minutes.
The question now
5-on-4.
did Tyler Bertuzzi injure himself?
Oh my! What the hell is going on with these
Charlie
officials?
Coyle right
What
there.
a joke!
And if he did,
what
that should
a
be
joke!
A 4-minute penalty. Anyways,
Leafs to the power play here for a
high
4-minute
sticking
stretch.
draws blood,
and
it's only 2 minutes.
The last 10 of the power play, last 5 games. So
Pardon my French,
power
but
plays in 5 games.
I'm not even going to say it.
And Sheldon Keefe
No
is still
point. No
hot
point.
at the officials.
standard is if he's bleeding, it's 4 minutes.
Chris,
If he's bleeding, and it looked like he was. Should be 4.
Now Matthews.
So Boston earlier in the game should have 4-minute penalty, a 4-minute power play like this. Instead, they give them a 5-on-3 in which they scored. Now Toronto should have actually picked up 2 minutes of a 5-on-3 and then 2 minutes of 5-on-4, 6 minutes in penalties, and they only call 2 and they call consecutive. What an official joke. These referees, this is why they need to come to the media and explain. I would love this referee to sit down to the media and explain why they came up with this call, why it's not 4 minutes for high sticking when you draw flipping blood.
In February, when they were red hot.
Unbelievable.
They're still second in the league. But of note, maybe Bertuzzi was ending the shift there. It is Tavares out there with the #1 unit rather than Bertuzzi, which is kind of got back and forth over the last little while. I think the face-off is important for Tavares too to win.
Against Frederick, 3-0 in the
Were
first.
They drinking at intermission?
Frederick and sit down the ice. Boston penalty killing, 8th in the NHL. The Bruins come in 4th in the league in goals against, 8th straight year they've been in the top 10.
Oh, he was in there. Tavares just had to touch it for him.
Nylander just missed. Here's Marner back with it.
Oh, Lucas, I disagree. Not true.
Wines back for Marner. Looks down to Riley. Here's Matthews with it. Matthews has a look, being shadowed there by McAvoy. Matthews holds. Trying to feed that back in front. McAvoy got in the way. Matthews back with it. McAvoy knocked that away, and it's sent down the ice by DeBrusk. And knocked down by Wool.
I'm sorry. I apologize.
I'm 15 into a 4-minute sequence. You can get 3 shifts with the #1 unit.
Yeah, the power play is
horrible, when you're tired.
It is really bad.
Comes Matthews, gets around DeBrusk.
But this ball
banks that back to Riley. Across he goes to Nylander. Nylander shoots. That's blocked by Witherspoon and sent down the ice.
Nylander's having a tough game by his standards with the puck.
Jeff, I mean, it couldn't be more obvious right now than what we're seeing. This is why the officials after the game need to step in front of the media and justify why they did what they did for Boston and why they're doing what they're doing here in Toronto. There's a trip yard croc snoop flip by number 48 Grizzly.
Throws it back in front.
Nice save by Swayman. I don't want to take anything away from Swayman. Swayman is playing outstanding hockey. He's playing great.
Good work by the second
Boston
unit.
Is playing great
they get set up behind
they're
the
doing
net.
well.
And Bobby McMahon gets the recipient of a nice pass from Max Domi. Finds the loose side, quick pass, and Swayman was sliding post to post with that ball in behind him.
This is God.
Wotherspoon, yeah, it was between his legs, and Wotherspoon will give you a little help from behind.
And the fact that there's nothing you can do about it, like the officials don't answer to anybody. 3 shots the Leafs on this
first half of the double minor.
It's so different.
5-on-3
for 2 minutes versus 5-on-4.
Rhonda, how's it going? Welcome in. I'm so steamed.
30% lookout for Bertuzzi.
Up to Hyman.
Short-handed. Here comes Boston with a chance. Liljegren making a nice play.
Knocked down by Hyman.
Leafs going to strip this one away. They got 1:47 left to go with the power play. They've done absolutely nothing. I'm sure they're just about as mad as I am. Yet they got to be kept accountable. If you're in sports, whether you're a player, an official, a coach, you've got to be held accountable.
Brandon Carlo steps in front of him. 90 seconds to go in the second minor penalty.
If you're just coming in, make sure to hit that like button for us. Help us out. Smash that like. We're on the way to 200. If you're not subscribed already, hit that subscribe. We're 30 subs away from 350.
By Marchand. Brad Marchand to Dan Hyden. Crisscrossing with Marchand, who leads all active players with 35 shorthanded.
Here comes a break for Marner. Coming in, shoots, he scores! Up your pie hole, Boston.
And the Leafs are back in it.
Watch the offside.
Mitchell, Marner puts it in.
And Jim Montgomery's not happy with the turnover here by Marchand and Hyden. As long as he touches it first.
Now Marner had this. In the old day, this would be offside, but the new way, as long as you have possession and make a hockey play, he has possession. It is a hockey play, so this is onside.
His 25th of the year.
Mitchie Marner, number 25.
12.
Yeah.
off the rush.
Excellent goal, great
Bruins,
pass.
Who scored his first
It's
NHL goal
about damn
against.
time, as Lizzo says.
Very similar long-range wrister blocker.
Are people still talking about Lizzo?
Way back in the day.
So the puck goes over the glass here, and so the double minor to Charlie Coyle costly.
Great heads-up pass
for
by
the Bruins,
Liljegren.
and an
Spring
opportunity for the
Marner.
Leafs. As Mitch
And they're going on a commercial break. Leafs are in it, 2-1. Marner on the power play. A beautiful feed by Liljegren. You should watch some clips on the refs getting injured or hit by a puck to cool you down. Listen, Cam, some of those are pretty darn funny. They are. But you never want to see anyone getting hurt, even if it's an official, even if they deserve it. You never want to see them getting hurt. I've been hit with more pucks and more sticks than I care to admit, and it does not feel good. It does not feel good at all. But, man, great goal here by Marner. Heads up pass by Liljegren, putting it in. That was nice. We needed that one. Leaf fans, we needed that one. We're in it. When you're watching your broadcasts, you are being considered. Obi-Wan, Goat Kenobi, thank you so much. I appreciate that. At least they broke the shutout. There you go. Yeah, Krista, right? Why don't refs get fined? We have a player safety committee, which is an absolute joke. Why don't we have a an official review committee where their sole job is to review all the calls made in a certain game and give a review. Go back to these officials and say, hey, you missed this one. You missed this call. This should have gone the other way. And then they know better for next time, right? I don't know what's going on with the officials these days. It's getting worse and worse and worse. And it's scaring the bejeebas out of me because come playoff time, a call like what we've seen today, calls like this can totally change the outcome of a series. So I would love, if there's an official out there, if anybody in the chat is an official, whether you're a pro official or in the minor leagues, or you're related to an official, if you have a connection to an official that would love to do an interview, and we don't have to do it live, we can pre-record it, but I'd love to sit down with an official and just get an understand what comes out of their thought process, why they make certain calls, how they manage the game, because we know they manage the game, but I'd like to know what they think about. All right, back from commercial break. Let's get this one going.
The lockdown team you might have
Marner's
expected
goal
in recent
to the
years
board.
of late. A lot of leads have evaporated on them. That's been kind of a league-wide thing, right? I mean, there's over 40% of games we've seen the team win after trailing at some point. Here comes Brazo with it on Benoit. Brazo tied up behind the goal, tries to kick that free and does. Can't get a shot away as it's picked up by Reeves. Camp up ahead for Noah Gregor. That's knocked away by Shatner.
Right?
Racing to his Brazo in on Benoit. Another big body collision, but Brazo wins.
Bill, that's amazing. I mean, that's what we
back
need.
around to Lago. Any fans on it?
Right, cartoons.
Brazo takes down Benoit. That battle continues. Back into point. Lorai swings it across the
Russ,
the
welcome
shot
in.
was deflected wide by Brazo. Good fourth line ship for Boston.
He's looking okay. I like Liljegren.
Moves it back in. That's knocked down and moved up by Gregor. He gains center ice and banks it down. And on comes the Matthews line for Toronto. Austin Matthews has 11 goals in his last 9 games against Boston. And that pass at center ice picked up by Bertuzzi. Around Pasternak. Flips it back across. And that's knocked down by Carlo.
A holding stick penalty here on Boston on the back check.
So the Leafs are going right back to the power play.
All right, here we go again.
And Austin Matthews reacted.
Boston number 11, minor penalty for holding the stick.
He couldn't get his stick in front of him. He was
can't
trying to
hold
shake
the
loose of
stick.
Frederick
Boston with these
on a
little
turnover.
things.
And
Right, these little
his
things
stick
they
was
do.
tangled up in
Finally, Fredericks get
gear.
called for it.
So there's the accidental triple.
I mean,
there
he
he's grabbed his stick,
actually
then he chicken wings
grabs
it, and he holds it,
Matthews' stick
and he doesn't let it get
around the
free.
shaft
And
like this.
you
and
try
then
to act
holds
innocent,
it,
but
so
you're not.
Matthews
That's a good call.
can't pull the stick
And that's a
out.
call
That's
that's
a
not
good
always
call.
made. Sort of the accidental on purpose. I got it in my arm. And the Leafs, who just scored a power play goal, right
Jays
back to the power
5-3.
play.
Thank you,
Matthews
Dallas.
stays out with 15 power play goals on the year to lead the Leafs. A chance to tie it up here.
Funny.
Knocked down by Tavares, but taken back by Coyle.
Coyle going to bring this one out.
Coyle, who was in the box, the Leafs power play goal, shoots. It goes off the stick of Morgan Riley, up and out.
And it's worth remembering when you play Boston, they love to attack shorthanded, especially Brad Marchand.
Yeah, it's a compliment.
Pure active leader in shorthanded goals scored in the NHL. When there's a chance to go, he will go. You think he's going to,
come on, Leafs, let's
settle
get it
for an
going.
outside perimeter shot?
Time
He
to
won't.
pick
He
it
will
up,
try
get
you
back in
one-on-one.
this
You
one.
need to get back if you turn it over with Marchand on the ice.
And here is Riley with it. Up ahead to Matthews. Austin Matthews drops it back to Riley. Quickly ahead for Tavares. That pass missed Riley.
not connecting
Coyle
on
off
the
the glass
passes.
by
Boston
Marner and back down. Here comes Marchand racing after it.
Marchand is going to get there
Nylander.
before Willie. Willie
Off the bench
taking
comes
Marchand,
Marchand.
can't get him out. Wrap around.
Put that right through
That
the
one goes
crease.
wide.
Their scouting report was
Now
bang
Willie
on.
steals
Now
it from
Nylander with a
Marchand.
chance.
Willie's all by himself. He's
In
got
on
two
Carlo.
men to beat.
William
Now he's going to
Nylander
pull up and wait.
throws it back.
Sending it
That
back
pass
for Riley.
misfired.
It's tipped out of the way.
And now Marner being shadowed by Jake DeBrusk, who has been the talk of Boston really all year in terms of his contract, which expires at the end of the season.
9.5 minutes to go here in the second period.
Up for Nylander, back to Austin Matthews. Back behind the goal by McAvoy, now held by Riley. Cross he goes to Marner. Drops it back to Nylander with Tavares posted up in front. In comes Matthews across to Riley. Marner chips it back in front. Tavares just missed on that in the high slot. And Matthews reaches out to hold the puck at the line, but now lost it. And DeBrusk
Terrible
sends
passing.
it down.
Hey, BCHL.
Had the play they wanted.
Terrible passing.
Pop
You're just
pass up
coming
to
in and
Tavares,
joining us.
just
Thanks for being here. Make sure
skipped
to
over
tap
his
that
stick.
thumbs up. Hit that subscribe. We appreciate it. We'll be back with Leaf action
Here's Domi
Saturday
back
night
with it.
versus the Montreal
Up ahead to
Canadiens.
Yarncroc. Drops it off, big man.
Rivalry week comes to its
And
conclusion.
Witherspoon plays it back around. Boquist got that taken away by Domi. Domi throws
In
it
front
back
to
in
Yarncroc.
Yarncroc.
Two
Point
whacks
blank
at
chance
it.
stopped by Swayman. 10 seconds to go on the lead power play.
Brian, it was Marner. Marner put it in.
Bertuzzi picks it out. Back to Liljegren. Widens and shoots. Swayman save.
It's right there. Swayman coming up with a big save. Yarncroc battling in front of the net. Loco Swayman is getting in there. Swayman is throwing shots at Yarncroc. Bertuzzi's going at it. Him and Loco are all wrapped up.
You like this from Yarncroc. Get right in there. Bang away. And if
In the meantime,
Swayman
Grzelcyk-
Domi grabbing the
Grzelcyk and
jersey
McMahon
of
in the corner
Boquist.
wrestling.
well, they're going to go.
We got another match in the corner here.
Close.
Cameraman
College
change.
guys who don't
I
usually
think
fight.
Bobby Mack is grabbed up on somebody. Bertuzzi's still going at it.
And Francis Sharon's
With
going to let these two go if they
Witherspoon.
want.
And Bertuzzi's got his gloves off with Witherspoon. His gloves are still on.
Go ahead. Here we go. That took a long time to
Hadouken! Prepare to fight.
Bertuzzi, he's got him pinned up against the boards. He's coming with the lefts. I didn't know Bertuzzi was a lefty. Now there's the right with an uppercut. Bertuzzi with an uppercut. Another uppercut. Witherspoon is pulling out.
No friends for
Bertuzzi
Bertini.
coming over the top. A shot by Bertuzzi. Another uppercut. Another uppercut.
Decent punch out with the uppercuts. My
Uppercuts
goodness.
galore. Is that Bertuzzi or is that Ryu? Unbelievable.
Hadouken!
Been doing this for a century in Boston and Toronto.
Bertuzzi, what a fight.
Bertuzzi, the former Bruin,
What a
the latest
fight.
to get in the act after things got heated in front of Jeremy Swayman.
And here's the early power play chance. We talked about
Bertuzzi
Marchand shorthanded.
destroyed him.
That's what he does. He doesn't just settle for put the puck in the corner. He challenges you. Takes it to the net.
We'll make
makes
sure to
you play
get that
defense.
posted up tomorrow.
Almost capitalized on opportunity, but puck goes the other way. And here's the play they wanted. Down to Marner, out to Tavares.
Taken for
Down
a
to
left
Marner, out
jab.
to Tavares. Right there, just
Today, Bertuzzi
doesn't
takes
quite
on
connect.
Witherspoon.
And then,
Tomorrow,
I like this by
it's
Francis
Nick
Sharon. I'm going to
Paul.
let you guys break up. If you want to go, at some point, I'm going to back up and say, go ahead. I'm not going to take shots with
Jake
the two of
Paul,
you.
not Nick
If you want to
Paul.
have this
I say
conversation, and Bertuzzi
Jake Paul.
wisely doesn't punch anyone. His gloves are off.
Bertuzzi
but
and
he's not going to get a
Witherspoon.
penalty. Make sure
Witherspoon is
gets
talking
his
to him the whole
gloves
time,
off.
saying, let's go,
And
let's
then
go.
he goes.
The gloves come
There's no
off, and
instigator, there's no
Bertuzzi
extras
just destroyed
for
him.
Bertuzzi.
Release the beasts.
I don't think Toronto
Bertuzzi
needs to prove
crushed
anything that
them.
they can push and shove with Boston. But if they do feel like they need to do it, as the conversation continues,
Frederick yelling over.
Frederick's no shrinking back either. He can really get after it.
He has been somewhat unexpectedly for the
What
Bruins.
a
Maybe
scrap.
what they were looking at when they drafted him.
Bertuzzi
in the
grabbed
first round of
Witherspoon and
2016, but
says,
he's been a feisty character since he got to the NHL.
I think it's Witherspoon and Bertuzzi still chatting about it.
unbelievable. And they're still going in the penalty
no
box.
Extras. Still 5-on-4, 2 seconds. Trent Frederick back on the ice.
All right, Frederick comes
And Frederick steps back on.
What a
Two shots
fight.
on goal for the Leafs on that power play. Remains a 2-1 lead for Boston. Gregor back with it. Bruins outshot Boston 6-0 since the Frederick goal. Including the Marner goal. Now a shot by Reeves. Tipped right on by Gregor. Back in the point is McCabe to Reeves. Back into Gregor. Spins and shoots. It goes off a shin pad right to Pasternak for Frederick. Up ahead to Geekie. And McCabe took that away from him.
McCabe gets taken out from behind. Who is that?
Knocks that to the box.
I'm not sure what number that is, but the Boston players took out 2 leaps from behind.
Jake McCabe works in. Leafs are changing as McCabe backhands that around.
Mr. Blister, the big boy is in
Back,
tonight.
Geekie knocks at it. And
Sharks
Frederick,
choked against
a
Dallas.
bouncing puck goes to Geekie and back out. Geekie, one of 3 players the Bruins took a chance on.
Nice rink-wide pass from Boston.
Teams.
Boston coming in, a little toe drag and a shot goes by.
Geekie not going to qualifying offer from Seattle in the summer. So became a free agent. In comes Domi, now behind to play McAvoy and Nylander into it. Domi comes in for a shot on McAvoy. Now Domi chips it back down. Here's Nylander back in on McAvoy, who plays it across to Carlo.
Dallas, I think they were exchanging their chicken farm recipes this time.
Brazo stepped into Riley, and now Domi across to Labushkin. Up for Matthews, who chips that by McAvoy.
Krusty, that's amazing.
McAvoy pokes it back around, and Van Riemsdyk has a look. Looked ahead for Brazo. That pass misfired. As he was waved off as Benoit looks ahead to Yarncroke. Chips that ahead to Matthews. In comes Austin Matthews. Drops it back to Lundergan, a shot that goes wide up the other side to Benoit. Winds it back to Matthews. He and Carlo collide in the corner. And a diving Charlie Coyle knocks it back to center ice. 6.5 to go here in the second period. Marner, rink wide for Yarncroke. Coyle knocked that away. Benoit plays
empty net, Marner. Why didn't you shoot, you bum? Oh, Marner had a wide open twine and he elected to hold it and go around behind the net. He should have pulled the trigger.
Shoot it in the empty net. He overthought that one.
Coyle fires it back down. And Mitch Marner is laboring on the Leaf bench. Pulled back to center ice, picked up by Lori.
Marner's bent over on the bench. That's not a
Benoit back to
good sign.
McCabe.
Hopefully he's all right.
Here's McAvoy with it. Out to center ice, picked up
Marner's
by Coyle.
in some discomfort on the bench. He still
Charlie
has
Coyle
his
bangs
head
that down as McCabe goes back. Rattles around to Reeves. Chips it there to Camp.
That's not a good pass.
Oh, big turnover. Here's a blast wall with a huge save.
Pasternak back with it. Drops it back to Lori. Winds in, rink wide.
Great save again, Wall. Another shot and another great save.
Pasternak thought he scored. He hit the pipe. And he's looking back again at the net.
He wants to. There's a penalty coming
McAvoy
up.
taken down. That's a penalty to Leafs.
So Gregor gets a knee out, and here comes Boston jumping on Gregor. So that should even it up.
Anybody that's big and say, let's go. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Morgan Geekie, sorry.
Geekie giving shots to the head of Gregor, and Gregor's tied up. He's getting the glove in there. Gregor's going after Geekie, so he should be going to the box. Reeves is standing on top of Geekie, saying, "You don't do that."
To it.
Reeves and Geekie having some words. The linesman's going to pull them
The
apart.
initial penalty going to Toronto.
So they're going to take a commercial break. This game is getting out of hand, and a big part of that is because of the lack of control the officials had, making some big-time mistakes. The players are now starting to officiate this game themselves. So Toronto definitely is going to go to the box here. Boston should be going in as well. Gregor definitely took the original trip, so he's going to go for tripping. Morgan Geekie, he's getting a minor right now, so the question will be, will Noah Gregor get 2 for tripping and 2 for roughing? We'll have to see. But right now, Noah Gregor is up for 2. Geekie is up for 2. So we'll see what else gets put on here. Reeves was looking for a fight, absolutely. Ref's fault. When you don't call a game properly, the players tend to take it on their own. Matthew Nyes is not back. Matthew Nyes has not returned after taking that hit earlier on. So we'll have to see how exactly this is going to break down with this situation. This is just the beginning, folks. I think this is going to get nasty. But that's what we love, some good old school hockey. That's what this game is. This is old school hockey right now. If you're just tuning in, thank you for joining us. We're almost at 200 of these. Smash that like button. Help us get up to 200. And if you're not yet subscribed, we're 26 subscribers away from our goal tonight. Let's see if we can get there. I'm sure 26 of you aren't subscribed. So get it over with. Just smash that subscribe and join us for NHL hockey all season long. We're going to be bringing you hockey and not just Leafs. We're going to start getting into all kinds of other teams until this baby is taken away from me and handed out in a couple of months' time. So we'd love for you to hang around with us and just have a whole lot of fun. Listen, Marner overthought that. There was a lot going on in front of the net. Marner had that puck, you're right. He should have shot it. He should have fired it right away. But the problem is Swayman was diving across. Marner was so close. He was probably thinking, if I come around the other side, I'll have an open lane to shoot. And he did, but he got blocked by the leg of a Boston player. So Marner had the chance. He had the chance. So Gregor going for tripping, and right now Geeky is in there for roughing. Gotta put it in the cooler for a little at some point. Yeah, that's right. So Marner looks okay. All right, so we're coming out of this okay. It's going to be 4-on-4 hockey right now. 4-on-4 hockey. So Gregor for tripping, Geeky for roughing. This is a good call by the official. This is a good call. 4-on-4 hockey. 5 minutes to go.
Back, Crossy goes to Pasternak. Pasternak has it knocked away by Nylander. Moving out with Tavares. Nylander flips
nice
it open space.
Play to Tavares.
Tavares on that puck.
Trying to get around, trying to bust in here.
Lori moves well for a big guy.
Lori with a nice play. Almost turned it over right in front of Swayman.
Lori comes in at 6'5", 211 pounds.
You got a whistle. What's this
penalty
for?
Here. It's going to be a high sticking
high
call.
Stick.
Tavares get it coming through.
Yeah.
What?
He clipped Lori.
Yeah. And it's a
They're calling Tavares for a high stick
as well.
Can we see a replay, please? Because
battling for body position against the
I didn't see a
large Lori on defense.
Penalty here. Triton coming in with the foam finger.
Just gets a piece of the chin.
There you go, Triton. Okay, yep, he did get him.
There, so
he did get him. Went for the stick lift.
McAvoy up top.
But that's a joke.
Who's going to shoot.
Triton with the foam finger. There you go, Triton.
They've already scored.
Thank you so much for the 199 foam finger. John Tavares going to the box for a high stick. It's going to be a 4-on-3.
That was the 5-on-3 goal
of
by
of everything that's gone on.
Probably want
that
to
gets
concede
called.
McAvoy shots, try to take Pasternak away.
McAvoy down to Marchand. Winds in. McAvoy tried to center it. That was knocked away by Camp. Now McCabe buries McAvoy behind the goal. Picked up by Camp.
McCabe is lucky he didn't get called for that.
Spins back and drops that back to Brody. And Brody risks the length of the ice.
There it is, stick taps.
Marchand, lots of room
Triton.
now. Moves that back in. 45 seconds to go in the first two penalties. As Pasternak moves around Marner. Drops it off to Marchand. Plays it back to McAvoy. Marchand. Trying to look down to Pasternak. Benoit got a stick on that. It's back at the point to McAvoy. McAvoy looks across. In comes Pasternak. Shoots. And
off the glove. Wall got a piece. Pasternak taken heavily into the boards. Charlie Coyle all over Labushkin.
Picked up by McAvoy. Works around Marner and pivots back. McAvoy to Pasternak. Pulls it between his legs and shoots. And Wool makes the save.
Great save.
The NHL on TSN is powered by FanDuel's
Great
goal
save
first
there
10
by
minutes.
Wall standing up tall as they brought it between the legs, trying to come through in front. Real nice stop by Wall. Pasternak, a lot of chances.
Wow. Multiple shots on this power play, and you've seen this one before through the legs, trying to get it upstairs, but Joseph Wall
and Labushkin clearing Pasternak out in front.
Give him anything to shoot at.
Really
quite find the short corner. So
FPE,
far, so good.
What's up? Our partner channels coming in from the ocean. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Bear Shirt. Welcome in, Florida Park Explorers. Hope you're having a nice sail in the moonlight.
Back at the point is Pasternak. And Brody.
If you're not already checking out the Florida Park Explorers, you need to. They bring you the magic
30 seconds to go
from the parks, the theme parks, the cruises, the oceans. Next stop, live stream from the moon.
Throws it down
Check
to
them out, the
DeBrusque.
Florida Park Explorers.
Jake DeBrusque banks that
Hashtag disclaimer, they're not actually going
for
to the moon.
Shattenkirk. Shattenkirk back for Zucker.
There's a shot, big save. Coming across, they score on the power play.
Connor E on the power.
Connor Geeky, after all that nonsense, he's the one that gets the goal.
Who's hot right now. Cash into the back door. Leafs getting a little
Another power play goal off another not great call by the officials.
Nobody in particular, and he knows it. He starts moving towards DeBrusque. He's not near
McCabe
him.
caught in no man's land, didn't know where to go.
They have to handle that
Left
3-on-2
Geeky open,
down
left
low.
DeBrusque
Much
open.
better than
McCabe
that.
with some blown coverage. The game seemingly too quick for McCabe there on that
Slides
play.
that one home for his
He couldn't cover it, and
15th season.
Geeky puts it in. Again, no fault of Joe Wall.
So he's got 5 goals his last 5 games, now including a hat trick against Vegas. And Lauko plays it back down. Special teams
like
story here tonight so far. Also sends it back in front. That knocked away by Wool. Lauko back on as Bertuzzi steps into him. Really good. Right there. Bat that back up. Carlos shot goes just wide. Picked up by Marner. Up to Riley. Back at the point. Here's Labushkin.
2 minutes to go here in the second.
Hard shot. Swayman makes the save.
Swayman with a nice stop.
Through the traffic.
TJ, what's going on?
Morgan Geeky strikes late in the Boston.
All right, they're going to take another commercial break. JT again. Yeah, it was not, listen, it was not a good penalty. JT came in, he got the stick up high. It was very quick. It kind of came up and caught the side of the helmet and down. I actually thought it was one of those plays where he went to lift the stick and he actually didn't make contact. I thought it missed him, but the Boston player kind of threw his head back. But upon watching the slow-mo replay, it did come up and actually catch him. So it is high sticking. It was a legit penalty. But of all the garbage that's gone on tonight, to call that and not call some of the other stuff is absolutely preposterous. But this is a good game, a good old-fashioned hockey game. Boston versus Toronto. This could be a first-round playoff matchup. And if it is, boy, oh boy, it's going to be a tough one. Boston has won the first 3 meetings. They have a 2-goal lead right now. And now Toronto is getting a little bigger and a little nastier with the trade they made earlier today with Edmondson coming over. He's, 6'5", 220 pounds. So that will certainly make some kind of a difference. But boy, oh boy, this Boston team, they're just throwing it. They're absolutely throwing it. Let's see. We're taking a look to see if there's any updates. Taking a look to see if there's any updates on the deal for Parenko. Of course, just before the Leafs got into tonight's game, that deal was still being shopped around. So we're seeing if there's any other updates, any other moves. At this point, it'll probably wait until tomorrow if it's not already done. But we'll see. All right, we're coming back. Just a couple of minutes to go here.
He's got to get back down to cover someone. He's just sort of around it, but not really near anyone. The communication, who's taking the passing lanes, everyone's stuck in between. No one's really on points.
That was Morgan Geeky, by the way, not Connor. His brother played in the World Junior this year for Canada.
No, that's Morgan with the 15 goals, breakout offensive season. The fact that he's getting second power play time tells you how good he's been playing.
And comes Jake DeBrusk with it now. We talked about the Bruins taking chances on guys who did not get qualifying offers from their own team. A long shot scores.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
And Brandon Carlo with a long-range shot that gets by Wall.
Oh, that is just not good. That's just not good. That can't happen.
That is
From way downtown.
For the Leafs. Battling back from two possibly. And I mean, it's such an instant looking wrister. It's got to touch something. No. Oh man, Joseph
may have
Wall,
been
you've
tipped.
got to find a blocker on this puck. I don't think Coyle. He's
I
playing
can't
like
tell if Coyle tipped this. Tavares was battling in front.
It goes straight in, and you
Oh,
cannot.
that can't happen. That can't happen.
Here, Joseph Wall.
Toronto is now in a big hole. We needed to stop.
This year he's allowed at least 4 in all 3.
All I was trying to do was look for
Bruins
trade
have won
updates.
6 straight against the
Boston
Leafs.
puts in
Trying to
another
sweep
one.
the season series. Two goals, a minute and 7 seconds for Boston. On a night when they are, in a week where they're celebrating their teams of the 2010s. Teams that beat Toronto 3 times in the playoffs in 2013, 2018, and 2019. All 3 series went 7 games. As that long shot skips down,
Dan,
and
we'll see you
Swayman
in a
makes the
little
stop.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, you have Swayman in the other
No,
end.
the Leafs don't suck.
Doesn't give up
the Leafs
much,
don't
rarely
suck.
makes mistakes, and Wall's looking to the
It's
right
been
side
a
of the
tough
pile,
game, a big battle of a game.
He just doesn't get it. I think he's playing the tip.
Statistically
I think
wise,
he's
this
playing
game was very
Coyle
close.
getting a piece he doesn't, and it scrapes off the shoulder of Wall and gets in
Guys
behind him.
and gals, ladies and gentlemen,
We've
I
talked
love
about
how
the
fast
Bruins blowing
everybody
leads, but
turns in the
blowing a 3-goal lead.
Joseph Wall lets in a bad goal, and everybody's Wall
happened in this
sucks.
building
Bring in
before.
Samsonov.
Yes.
But unlikely.
He doesn't suck. Guys, Boston's a tough team. Boston is playing really, really well. The Leafs got hosed on a bunch of calls, which allowed Boston to go up by a couple of goals.
Second place in the division.
Joseph Wall has played very well for the most part.
It's looking more and more likely that Toronto and Boston will face each other in the first round.
So
The Bruins still
funny.
have designs on finishing first in the Atlantic.
Bruins are a better team. That's why Boston is ahead of them in the standings.
Pick your poison.
That's
If you're
how these
Toronto,
things
likely to
work.
finish third, you're going to get Florida, who knocked you out last year.
There you go,
Team
Lucas.
poised
That's
to be
better.
Incredibly difficult
Yes,
to play
Leafs
against this
are
year. Or
not
the team
doing
you
well
beat
right
2
now.
years.
Leafs are
The
not
Boston
doing
Bruins.
well right now. Oh, boy.
McCabe drops that back. Domi a long shot that goes off a leg.
15 seconds to go here in period number 2.
Boquist looks ahead. That's knocked away. And now Domi drops it back to Riley.
Gerard, yeah,
Riley
that's
fires
something
it
that
right
needs to
down on
happen.
Swayman, who gloves it down at the horn.
And there it is. The horn
Leafs
goes
got
2
back
periods
within 1, but
in
2
the
late
Bucs.
goals from the
Toronto.
Bruins. Morgan Geeky.
Yikes. Let's go talk about it. All right, when we take a look, when we break it down and we look at these stats, shots are pretty close, 21-19, hits very close, 36-34. Face-offs won, Toronto has the advantage. Toronto 1 for 3 on the power play, 2 for 4 go the Bruins, so even that is close. Giveaways are even, 9 apiece, Toronto with 2 more takeaways. Block shots, 8-9. Even hits, did I say the hits? Yeah, 35-37. Statistically speaking, this is a very, very close game. Ryan, they don't suck. You're God, you crack me up. Ryan, let me tell you this. If the Leafs suck, how does it feel that your team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, are 8 points behind Toronto? Toronto currently in 4th place, Tampa Bay Lightning in 7th place. So Ryan, if you say the Leafs suck, how much does it crush you to know that your team that you cheer for are so far behind Toronto? So your team must suck way worse. Sorry to all the other Tampa Bay Lightning fans. Ryan, yeah, man, I love you. You're the best. He cracks me up. Our resident villain, Ryan. He's a good sport. I love the trash talking, and that's why we do it. We like to have a lot of fun. But seriously, when we look at the stats for this game, they are so even. They are so close. Boston is second in the Eastern Conference with 87 points. The only team above Boston, by the way, is my Florida Panthers. So, Sean, at least I have that right. Bruins are one of the best teams in hockey. They've been one of the best teams for like the last 3 years. Boston is a hard team to play against. Why? They've figured it out. Boston has a ton of skill. They're playing good position hockey. Their defense is solid. Their goaltending is incredible. They are making big plays. Boston is solid. And they found a way to be cheap and dirty and get away with it. So Boston, they win hockey games. And by the way, how many hockey games has the Boston Bruins won this year? 36 games out of 64 played. How many hockey games have the Toronto Maple Leafs won this year? 36 games in 62. The Maple Leafs have won the same amount of hockey games as Boston has, but 2 games less. So you can't say Toronto sucks because they're right there with Boston. Yes, Boston is playing a better game today. Yes, the Leafs were terrible a couple of nights ago, and Boston has taken it to them. For whatever reason, Boston has a spell on Toronto. Toronto can't get past it, but they don't suck. The statistics show they're even. But this is hockey. This is why we love it. Strange things happen all the time, and that's what hockey is all about, ladies and gentlemen. That's why we watch it together. Looks like we got a trade between the Dallas Stars and the Calgary Flames. Nothing really big. Emilio Pettersson going to Dallas. Calgary picking up Riley Demanian. Did I see somebody post a trade to Tampa Bay? Anthony Duclair traded to Tampa Bay Lightning. Hayden, where did you see that come through? I haven't seen that yet. I know Duclair. I know Florida Panthers were in on Duclair. I didn't hear that Tampa was in on that. So if they picked him up, that's a great pickup. I'm a big Duclair fan. Kid has a ton of talent. Sean, that's a good point, right? It becomes a mental game. It becomes a mental game, and that's where Toronto has certainly struggled. They haven't been able to get that going. But again, when we break it down, when we look at the standings itself, Toronto is just behind Boston. They're sitting third in the Atlantic Division. Detroit and Tampa Bay hanging on to that wild card spot. The New York Islanders making a push. The Islanders are 68 points, just a couple back from Tampa Bay. Tampa needs to be careful. Just imagine if Marner shoots the puck in an empty net. It's 2-2 max. That changes the entire trajectory of this hockey game, right? If Marner puts that in and all of a sudden it's 2-2, everything changes. So he's going to be reliving that one in his nightmares for sure. Montreal has 23 Stanley Cups. Congratulations to Montreal. Is that supposed to be a comeback? I've seen the Leafs win the cup 3 times, so I'm good. Peter's good. He said, I'm not. I'm waiting. I'm waiting to see it happen. Claire has to go to Tampa. Duclair is so good, Monty. He's so fast. He's got great hands. This man looks at shots from the Leafs in Boston, but doesn't look at how the Leafs shots have been far away from the goalie. Boston shots have been in the slot. Some of them have. Some of them have. Listen, Toronto has always struggled from shooting from the point. This is something they've kind of adopted lately. It's not all about shooting from standing in point-blank range in front of the net. Don't forget, Boston, on all their power plays, would go down low, backdoor, and try and jam it in, right? And it's a great play, a smart strategy. Toronto recognizes they're having a tough time getting directly into the slot. So what do? They adjust. They start shooting from the face-off dots, the high slot. They're using their D at the blue line. They're adjusting to the play, right? They're adapting. If they didn't adapt, they'd still have no shots because Boston is playing an unbelievable defensive game. They scored that forced goal. The whole Leaf team had to change body expressions. Yeah, right, Sean? It's one of those, you know, when you're down and there's like 2 minutes left in the period, you need that stop, right? If Wall makes that stop, the Leafs come into this break down 3-1, a chance to come back. All of a sudden, 4-1, needing 3 goals just to tie, it becomes really difficult. You know, that one goal that Wall would love to have back. And again, I'm seeing the replay over and over. I'm not convinced it was straight in. It still looks like a tip, but a very subtle one. But nonetheless, that hurts. A goal right at the end. And if the Bruins get a center, it's lights out. JB, what's up? Yeah, I mean, listen, Boston, they can find a way. But don't forget what happened last year. Boston taking on the Florida Panthers, who snuck into the playoffs, and Panthers were able to knock them out. So you never know what happens come playoff time. Anything can happen. Serverx, they'll be playing the Bruins in the first round. Same old story. But you know what? It's not going to be the same old story because teams are going to change up. Again, we have Edmondson. A couple of these goals that have been scored in front, right? Those guys wouldn't be able to stand there with Edmondson there. He'd clear them out in front. Now again, Matthew Nyes, he took that big high hit from Marchand. He gets knocked out. No call on Marchand. It's been a very chippy, very scratchy game. Again, you got to play the game you're dealt. But this is the style. This is the style that Boston thrives in. This is the style Toronto is just learning to play. Earlier this year, Toronto was getting 20, 25 hits a game. Now they're upping that. They're upping their intensity, right? Toronto, you know, picking up now 35 hits. They're playing a different style of hockey, and it's going to take time for them to adapt to this. Bruins are the best. Steven, they're playing great hockey. Tampa trade I saw on the Calgary-Tampa game. All right, so it's legit then. Oh, good for them. They picked up a solid player in Duclair. I think that's a great pickup. Watch the Mighty Ducks. Thomas is getting pumped up watching the Mighty Ducks. Love it. The Leafs suck against better teams, but honestly, anyone in the playoff spot doesn't suck. That's very, very, very true. No chance he makes those trades. I've tuned in so Toronto will lose. Not at home. That's really funny. Let's see. I know I'm trying to scroll through slowly to pick up all the comments here. Jay, what's going on? Jay, welcome in. For what? I swear this only happens when I watch it. I'm not watching Saturday's game. Jay, maybe just pop in and say hello. All right, let's Duclair going is such a crappy. Listen, good for him. At least he'll have a shot. You know, Duclair, he can be a difference maker. Jonesy, what's going on? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the out of town scoreboard. I meant to do this earlier, but we got caught up in all this. 6-0 Washington Capitals over the Pittsburgh Penguins. You're really telling me Sidney Crosby wants to spend another year getting blown out of the water? Will Crosby be on the move? 3-1 Devils over the St. Louis Blues. 2-1 Hurricanes over the Canadiens. Flyers and Panthers, they're tied at ones. Flames up 5-2 over those Tampa Bay Lightnings. There you go, Ryan. Your team is losing just as bad as my team. The Blue Jackets, in a surprise, are up 3-1 over the Edmonton Oilers. The Predators, there you go, CeeLo. Predators are up 2-0 over the Buffalo Sabres. Wild and Coyotes are tied at goose eggs. And then we got 3 late games tonight. Vancouver Golden Knights, that's going to be an awesome game. Vancouver and Vegas kicking off at 10 p.m. Islanders and Sharks, who cares? Senators and Kings at 10:30. But man, that Vancouver Golden Knights, I might have to watch that tonight. That is going to be amazing. Rangers are not picking up Crosby. Rangers don't have enough cap space to pick up Sidney Crosby. If Crosby goes anywhere, I'm telling you, he's going to the Colorado Avalanche. You guys all think I'm blowing out of my mind crazy. But if anyone is Crosby's going anywhere, he's going to Colorado to play with Nate McKinnon. 200 likes. Way to go, everybody. Thank you so much. This has been so much fun. This is what I love about this community. Even when the game is trash, we like to have fun and have a good time. But Edmondson's going to come in and make a difference. All 6'4", 6'5" of him, 220 pounds. That's going to make a big difference to this defensive squad. And if they can pull off this deal, if they can pick up, oh, hang on a second here. Oh, this is Troy Stetcher to the Oilers. If they can pick up the big St. Louis man, Colton Paryenko, I mean, that would give us an unbelievable back end. So we'll have to wait and see what's going to happen there. Who likes Connor Bedard? Steven Bedard is incredible. Bedard is, I mean, the things he does is absolutely incredible. But the way Chicago's playing, it's going to be a long time before Connor Bedard gets into the playoffs. Chicago has a long way to go. The only thing is Crosby's no move. Exactly, Cam. So Crosby gets to dictate where he wants to go. And if it's anywhere, it's going to be to play in Colorado with Nathan McKinnon. I mean, a lot of people say he wants to come to Toronto, come home, but Toronto can't afford him. Marchand should try and lick Reeves. It's Johnny. He hasn't tried that for a long time. How many years ago was that? The licking incident. That was crazy. Justin Hall to the Penguins. So now you have Crosby going to Detroit. Crosby to Detroit for Justin Hall. Now, there was rumor Toronto was talking about bringing Justin Hall back to Toronto, but no chance that's going to happen. Are you mad? No, Mark, I didn't see. What did you put in? Oh, can Edmonton skate? Mark, I'm sorry. It's moving so fast. I didn't see the comment. Can he skate? I'm not sure if he can skate. He's not really one of those players that will pick up the puck and carry it down the ice. He's more of that stay-at-home, physical presence, clear a guy out from in front of the net. I mean, obviously, he's in the NHL. He can skate. But he's not going to pick up the puck like Morgan Riley and lead a rush. Not going to pick it up. You know, Liljegren might be a little bit of a better skater, but he is more of a hard-hitting physical presence. MD, what's going on? Marshy has matured. The Bruins going to win? Probably in this game. I mean, they're just looking good. Cringe, what's up? Welcome in. No surprise the PK went from 11th to what it is now. Hall was a huge PK presence. You know, Crazy Canuck, you make a good point, and we kind of talked about this last year when the world put on the hate for Justin Hall. Justin Hall blocked a whole lot of shots. So, that's right, Dan. He ain't no Bobby Orr. You know, Hall, even though sometimes he kind of, you know, things happen and you kind of wondered, what on earth are you doing? He did make a difference. You're right. He blocked a lot of shots, and he was decent when he had the puck moving it out, that breakout pass. His rookie card is worth more than Gretzky's. Oh, goodness. You guys are killing me. My friend just called me. He's watching the guy open packs of hockey card. And often, that's right. So, yeah, Peter, it's a Connor Bedard Gold Burst 1-of-1 variant. It's a 1-of-1 variant. There's $1 million bounty out for that card. So if you happen to buy a box of hockey cards or a pack of hockey cards and hit that Gold Burst 1-of-1 Connor Bedard Young Gun, somebody's shopping around for $1 million. If they don't get it done, it's over. We need toughness. Crosby to Toronto. Crosby, Nylander, Matthews. Ryan says Crosby to Toronto. So Ryan, in that comment, we need toughness. Do you think Crosby is the toughness answer? I don't. Listen, nothing to take away from Crosby. He's 36 years old. He's having a heck of a season. I don't think he's the answer. I really don't. I mean, listen, I'd love him on the team. I would definitely go get a Crosby Toronto jersey, but not going to happen. I would be shocked. I would eat another peanut butter hot dog if that happened. That's how certain I am it's not coming. So Monty Weber, it's a good move. He's 6'7", but he's a college player, right? He's a college player right now. He's not going to show up in the Leafs for the Leafs unless they put him in at the end of the year as a depth player to see what he could do. If they sign him to any type of contract, it's definitely going to be a Marley type contract. I don't think he's stepping into the NHL. I'm still convinced that move was to flip him as part of a bigger deal if they can get it done. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I don't know too much about him. He was top 10 in zone denials and top 15 for keeping shot. Those are good stats for sure. No, Steven, I am not a fan of Boston. Mark, the Upper Deck cards. So any hobby store, any hobby shop, you can find them. I would not recommend buying them online. Prices on eBay or Facebook or any of that stuff are insane. I mean, even from a retail outlet, the prices are insane. But you can find a hobby box from your local hobby shop. Or if you go, Alex Nylander had a hat trick on Monday. Wow. Or if you go to Walmart or Target, any of those type of stores, you can find some smaller boxes to check it out. All right, we're coming back, getting set for the third period of play. I'm sorry, I know there were so many comments there. I couldn't get to them all. Let's get ready. Rockin', what's going on? Time for period number 3. Austin, welcome in. Here we go.
It was embarrassing for him on Monday. He talked about being benched in the first period.
I hope
in the game against Boston in Toronto.
Boston is the better team based off
Bruins
the standings.
Open the third period with a 4-1 lead, looking for their 7th straight
what's
win
going on. Welcome back.
Against the Leafs. That would tie the longest winning streak in this long history between these two teams. As Matthews winds in, shoots, and just missed wide.
Penalty coming up to Boston as Bertuzzi
to the Bruins.
hauled off his
Charlie
feet.
McAvoy's going to complain that Bertuzzi pulled the stick out of his hand in the neutral zone, and then eventually he hauled down.
If you're just coming in and
Bertuzzi
joining us, thank you for being
rush.
here. Great job, over 200 likes.
And
make
so
sure you're hitting that subscribe
right away,
as you're coming
18
in.
seconds into the,
and make sure you're checking your points. Exclamation mark points in the chat. And then you can redeem them as you go.
Bertuzzi's been right in the thick of all of it.
Yes, Steve,
former
I am a
teams.
big
Fight
fan.
here tonight.
So that's already happened there, but see McAvoy, no stick, and that is absolutely interference. Say what you want about the first one. Jim Montgomery saying he ripped the stick out of his hand. Does not matter. Leafs on the power play.
Cheers, Peter.
Chance to get within 2 early.
Right. So Tavares, Nylander, Marner, Matthews, and Riley out there on the power play. And Marner wins the face-off back to Riley. Across he goes to Matthews. Often Matthews banks it down, and Witherspoon sends it back down the ice for Boston.
No, I'm not jealous of Boston. I'll tell you that much.
Here's Riley back with it. Drops it back
I
to
like
Nylander.
my team to be
Chipped back by
a little
Tavares
respectful.
to Matthews. Up for Marner. Marner drops it back, and Riley able to hold that at the line. Tavares.
I have a hard enough time with Nick Cousins being on my pants.
Across he goes, and Riley unloads. Swayman makes the stop on that.
Good stop by
Here's
Swayman.
Riley back with it. Morgan Riley back down to Nylander. For Riley. He watched by Frederick, slides that back down to Tavares.
What's going on?
Winds and shoots and fired that wide. Here's Matthews back on it, down to Marner. Spreads that pass down to Nylander. Throws it back. Riley.
Great save, Swayman. Coming across on Riley. Wow.
Good motion by the Toronto Maple Leafs power play.
Swayman.
The offensive
really,
zone.
really outstanding.
Really
He's
nice
tracking the
feed.
puck incredibly well.
Riley's active on the back door.
What happened? I didn't even realize this
Through,
didn't
but
update
Jeremy
the whole
Swayman
game.
there, square. You got to really pick a good corner. to beat Swayman even on a lateral pass.
Swayman number 2 in the NHL in save percentage this year. He's 4-0-1 in his last 5 starts.
Toronto's power play has been absolutely atrocious since that win streak has come to an end.
Wool plays it up to Tavares. Drops that back to Riley. 50 seconds to go in the Toronto power play. In comes Nylander. Lorei got
No, I hate him because he's
there for a moment.
dirty.
Tavares drops it back to Matthews.
He's a cheap shot.
Back for Marner.
And I don't like that.
Marner has a look, being shadowed by Coyle. Slides it down to Riley. Into Matthews. Back for Marner with time. Sends it back in front.
Another great stuff by Swayman. Swayman coming across with
there.
a double pad stack. Unbelievable.
Liljegren.
Not at
Back
home.
down
Jeremy
to
Swayman is playing out of his mind right now. He has been absolutely stellar.
Looks it back for Bertuzzi. Carlo got a stick on that. Domi trying to play it back around. Final seconds now. The power play at the line, held by Liljegren. 3 shots for Toronto on the power play. Liljegren to Bertuzzi, throws it back in front, picked up by Domi. He shoots, and Swayman makes the save.
Wow, my oh my. Swayman is the star of this game.
On the power play just after it expires.
Incredible.
The last one on Max Domi. Corrals it, trying to find a rebound, something, and
Florida going to
save,
OT.
but no rebound. Another high stick and yard approach chip by Carlo. There's the other chance, Swayman. Goaltenders will read the play so well that they get out away from the goal line to meet the tipper at the lip of the crease, to not give an angle to Tavares to chip it up and over his pad.
Swayman, 4th round pick of Boston in 2017. He was the 12th goalie picked in that draft.
He was an absolute stud at Maine in college for 3 years.
Toronto wins the draw.
Long shot blocked. The top goalie in the NCAA.
Great surprise.
In 2020.
Mike Richter Award.
Yeah.
As that's called. And took his time behind Tuukka Rask. And then Linus Ullmark comes in with a big contract. And
Swayman
he was the odd goalie out, not because of the way he played, but because he was eligible to go up and down the minors for a while.
Outstanding. Thank you so much. Hitting that subscribe 2-way. Actually, let's go for 5. Let's get 5 and end up at 10-3-3-3.
Won the Vezina going away.
5. If you haven't hit that subscribe yet, hit that subscribe
But
for
at
us.
this point, it appears like Swayman has won the #1 job.
Yeah. But they oddly work well together for 2 guys who are competing for ice time.
They're the best of friends. And of course, their post-game hugs are legendary. Reeves chips that back down to the Boston zone. Reeves, big hit there on Shattenkirk, sends him flying. And then
Reeves
again
is
with a
really
shot.
giving it to Shattenkirk.
Camp trying to dig that free for McCabe. McCabe
boy!
McCabe got buried there in the corner.
Who was that?
By Brazo.
McCabe gets turned upside down and flipped over. Wow, McCabe having a tough game tonight.
Brody goes back.
Gregor with it.
Noah Gregor up ahead for Simone Benoit. If you're just joining us, Matthew Nyes left this game in the first period, has not returned after a collision with Brad Marchand. Goes back, and icing called.
So it's funny, another game against Boston, another Maple Leaf player goes down. Remember, it was Liljegren who Brad Marchand took into the boards earlier this season.
Eastern only on TSN,
suffered a high ankle sprain and missed a good amount of time early in this season.
I remember one unit in high school.
Here we go again, Matthew Nyes.
We did curling. They took us to like the local curling rink, which obviously wasn't available in Scarborough. And
so Sammy played last night.
We had a curling
Sammy
team
played
in
last night. No goalies
shoots.
playing back-to-back nights
in Alberta.
That's why Sammy's not.
It's harder than it looks, is all I'll say.
Yeah.
Gerard, what's going on?
Team at the airport, and they are
going to lose.
In shape.
They're ripped. And Riemsdyk drops it back. In comes Morgan Geekie with a shot. That was blocked by Benoit. And Geekie knocked off stride there by Tavares.
He's
no
holding
stranger to danger. What's going
in his
on?
hand,
Welcome in.
So he can't check him for 25 feet.
When you become a referee, it's all going to be different.
It's a hard job. There's so many infractions, and everyone's looking for an edge and an angle. It happens very quickly, but sometimes the frustration you felt as a player seeps in.
Bertuzzi, nice
In
move.
comes Bertuzzi, drops it back. That shot by Marner goes wide. Jumping up is Riley to try to keep that alive. Zacha chipped at that. Pavel Zacha. Back across, and Frederick picks it up. Here's
That's
Marner
right.
back
If they
with
need to get a goal in the next
Matthews.
couple minutes, they can start to
Zacha
turn
stepped
this
into him.
around.
Frederick bumps that
Boston
back.
is playing such good positional hockey. It's absolutely
Boston 2
incredible.
goals his last 2 shots. Still does not have a shot.
Yeah,
here
Randy,
in the
it's
third
crazy.
period. Labushkin.
5 minutes gone, 15 remaining.
Marner
Here
with
in
it now.
period number
At the
3.
point, though, held by Grzelcyk, and Grzelcyk shoots. That floats wide. Grzelcyk, a pending unrestricted free agent as well, grew up a mile from here, across the bridge in Charlestown. And literally grew up in this building and the Boston Garden. In comes Shattenkirk, shoots, he fired that
You
wide.
got another penalty coming up for Leafs. Domi has his man pinned against the boards.
Now
Here comes Coyle in to grab Domi. Domi's going after Marchand. Marchand turtles like a little wuss. Marchand, the baby, won't stand up to Domi. Coyle has to come in and grab Domi from behind. Coyle should be tossed for third man in.
The interpretation
But
of
he
the
won't be.
collision.
But
Doesn't
Domi
really
going
matter
after
to
Marchand. Marchand,
You got our guy. He's
little
not playing.
crybaby, won't do anything. Marchand only plays
This is
dirty.
somehow what infuriates guys
Won't
about
drop the
Marchand.
gloves and face
So it's a
everyone man
decline,
on man because
questionable.
Marchand is not a man.
Domi's not a big guy. He tries to go after him, force him into a fight, and he just won't. He won't do it on anything but his own terms.
Domi, a small guy going after Marchand, and a little mother. You know what I'm going to say.
He was skating off. He was chirping.
Won't
the Leafs
even
after
go
the
at
first goal
Domi.
when they
What
took
a
the
wuss.
cross-checking penalties. And
Marchand
Domi in the
goes
corner.
in
So
with a
nothing
little
wrong.
hit on
Yes.
Labushkin.
And now Max
Domi
said
comes
that's
after
enough.
Marchand, giving him the
This is
business.
there.
Going at him. Domi wants to drop the gloves. He gets one glove off Marchand.
And Swayman at one point
Doesn't
kind of
do anything.
started drifting out to center ice. Now he had gone to the bench because the penalty was coming. He kind of drifted across center ice.
Well, the penalty if you go across center ice.
Right. So he
That's
quickly
what
turned back,
I
but he
want
was-
as my captain. I want my captain to
would
be
know each
a
other from college.
guy who will only hit people from behind, will only hook people down,
So Domi gets
but
the
won't
penalty.
stand up
The
and
minor
fight
Boston goes
someone
back
face
the
to
power play.
face.
Face-off will come outside as the defenseman got in to try to protect the captain in the scrum. And it's infuriating, right?
Pound for pound, I don't know, Ryan, maybe, but he's getting up there.
He's crossed it so many times, it's hard to give him the benefit of the doubt when he gets
It
in
would be an
collisions like he
interesting.
did.
It would be
He's been
interesting to see.
suspended 6 times.
That's right, Trent. I can't say it. It's a family show. I have to
Stand
wait.
up and answer
Have to wait for the playoffs.
in a hockey way, and he won't.
Final
But
regular season.
that's only
game between
9:30. We
Toronto
still
and
might have
Boston.
some more.
As Van Riemsdyk pokes at it. Now Yarncroke sends it back down the
MD,
ice.
for sure. Went to a fight and a hockey game broke out. That's right. Listen, if you're going to play
McAvoy
dirty all
swings
game,
back
you
for it.
have to stand your ground. You have to drop the gloves.
McAvoy drops that back to Marchand across to Pasternak. In comes Pasternak. The pass bounces back to Coyle. And Charlie Coyle winds in. But Van Riemsdyk parked in
Nothing
front. Here's
wrong with the
Marchand back
call.
on it.
Listen,
Marchand
100%
back
it's
to
a penalty on
McAvoy.
Domi for
Pasternak
rough.
walks in, drops it back. McAvoy shoots. And
I'm
it's
not mad
made
at the officials
by
on
Wool.
that one.
Marchand swings that back
But
to
you can't
McAvoy.
come
Back
in
to
and
Marchand. Works it down to
Be a
Pasternak.
cheap kind of a gun.
And Pasternak swings that down to Van Riemsdyk. The pass got away from him, still at the back of the goal.
McCabe is going
Picked
at
out by
Marchand
Coyle,
now.
swings it back to McAvoy. Inside a minute to go in the Boston power play. McAvoy drops it off
Right,
to Marchand.
Cam, exactly.
McAvoy back down to Van Riemsdyk. Throws it back in front, and Pasternak missed on that.
He's trying to pass it to Marchand. Shoot in the net.
Coyle back to Pasternak.
Well, this is
to
getting
Marchand.
interesting. What other fireworks
Shoots, he
are
fired
we
that
going to
wide.
see come up here in
30
the
seconds to go in the
next
Boston power
13
play.
minutes of this period? If
Marchand
you're just
back
coming
for
in,
McAvoy.
welcome. It's Royal Rumble on
McAvoy
ice.
walks right in, feeds it back for Coyle, and McMahon couldn't clear it out.
And this tired, stay tight, don't
Don
let it go
was
through the box.
Exhausted Leaf penalty killers on the ice. Pasternak unloads, and Brody got in the way of that. The puck goes up
15
and
seconds left to go on the power
In
play.
the state of the Toronto penalty kill,
Boston's
that's
getting lots
Bobby
of shots.
McMahon killing a penalty.
They're doing a nice job of killing this one through.
Boston has it a minute and a half. They're trying to look for good options. McAvoy.
Freak Sean, what's going on? What did I miss? You missed a lot of bad calls. You missed a lot of dirty plays from both sides. From both sides.
I just wonder.
Boston going to sneak away with another
penalty
one.
Killer. Defensive guy might be on the wish list of Shelton Keefe as well.
No, Leo, say it ain't so. They lost in overtime.
Zaka shoots, that drifts wide.
Hathaway of all people.
They made the Joel Edmondson trade earlier today. Here's Morgan Geekie back with it.
The penalty's expired.
In the corner, Geekie to Zaka. That was
There's
knocked away by
Don.
Benoit, picked up by Domi. One shot for Boston on the power play. So a 4-1 game here in the third.
You're just coming in. Make sure you hit that subscribe. We want you to come back and hang out with us.
Zaka shoots. That was blocked by Lyubushkin. Grizzly squeezed there by Nylander, but plays it back in.
Oh, that was a good one, Chris.
Zaka knocked
Wings
off
abs back then. That was insane.
Plays
that
it back
was
around
wild.
to Grizzly. Across he goes to Carlo. There's DeBrusque back in front for Geekie. That was knocked away by Nylander. Morgan
So
Geekie
even
sends
the
it back
offensive
in.
zone possession is pretty equal. 11:45
Geekie races after it.
Boston, 11:15 for Toronto.
Benoit collides.
So even the ozone time
Clearing attempt hit the official.
is pretty close. The difference being Swayman has been outstanding
right near
in
by.
Boston,
It was a near miss
getting
at
a
that.
couple early goals. and they were
11:40
able
to go in the
shut
third.
this one down. We're going to commercial break. When they come back, Toronto is only having about 11 and a half minutes to find a way back in this hockey game. We've seen them do it before, but the way Swayman is playing, highly unlikely we're going to see a comeback here. But the question is, how vicious is this going to be? The fourth meeting between these two teams, and it's looking more and more likely like this is going to be the first round playoff matchup. You know we're going to have every single playoff game. Morgan, good night. We're going to be here right until the Stanley Cup is handed out, but then things don't end there. When the Stanley Cup is handed out, we will bring you coverage of the NHL drafts, free agent signing day, any news and rumors throughout the summer. We're going to bring back our Hockey Talk hockey show, plus we will bring you Blue Jay baseball coverage all season long. Hopefully the Blue Jays can figure it out and have a much better season. But we won't get into all of that until there's a Stanley Cup being celebrated. If you weren't with us last year during the playoffs, it was crazy. We had an absolute blast. We lost our minds. We met so many amazing people along the way. I know there are other streamers out there, but this is the best hockey chat on YouTube. The hockey knowledge, the family-friendly trash talking, just the good time had by all. I guarantee you it is better than everyone else. You don't believe me? Stick around for a little bit. Come in the chat, say hello, get to know some of these amazing people. I guarantee you virtual friends to talk hockey, and that's what it's all about, creating this community. So thank you one and all for being here and having a whole lot of fun for us. We called it Rivalry Week this week because Toronto playing Boston twice, Buffalo once, Montreal coming up on Saturday, all their big rivals just about. So it's been a whole lot of fun. All right, let's pick it back up. Third period action.
Matthew Nyes that knocked him out of the game.
If you're, based
Oh,
on
Leo,
his
that
history,
one, that one
you
hurts.
think that maybe
That one hurts, but you can't win them all.
Advantage.
Panthers, one of the
Susie
great
throws
teams
it back
this
in
year.
front. Chance there for Tavares, turned away by Swayman. That's banked up by Brazo.
The Toronto Maple Leafs.
See, there you go.
know
Jackets
they're not,
beat
the guys,
Edmonton.
the team, some guys are not feeling healthy.
Didn't see that one.
You just wonder what the energy levels are, the just general health of this team.
Right.
With the flu floating around. Because it's never just one guy. It
Well,
might be
that's a
one guy
good
in the
point,
lineup,
too. Not to
but
make
there's a half a dozen
excuses.
players.
But they do
who are
have a
likely
flu
feeling a
bug
bit
going
under the weather.
around, and if
And it's
anybody's
tough
had
going
the
up
flu,
against a team like Boston
you
when
know
you're
how
not
much it sucks the
right where
energy
you
out
want to
of
be.
you. And
So
if any of these guys
see,
are
Edmonton will
playing
be
with
arriving.
flu-like symptoms,
Edmonton
first of all,
will be arriving.
they shouldn't be playing.
They'll have some
but if
decisions
they
to make
are,
about
I mean,
who
it
to
just
play
sucks
with who and
the
how.
energy right out of you.
All the lefties.
It's
what
not an
the
excuse.
defense pairings will look like.
Well, you wonder when the music stops who doesn't get a chair.
Well, if you figure Riley, Brody, McCabe, are locks.
Right.
Labushkin knew.
Spiegel, what's going
Edmondson
on?
knew.
Last 2 games against Boston.
Benoit with McCabe.
Right.
Where does that leave Littleton?
Playoffs are going to be a
Giordano
lot of
comes
fun.
back.
A lot
I think at this point he's probably the extra guy, even if he was healthy, but there's one guy who's been playing who's not going to.
Picked out now by Marner. Swings that back to Brody. Brody, a long shot was blocked in front by McAvoy, and a stick knocked out of his hands by Matthews. And McAvoy barks at the official on the way back to the bench. McCabe got bumped there by Pasternak. McCabe.
So Pasternak went, he hit
midway point
McCabe
of
once.
the third period.
McCabe was coming around, Pasternak came out
Boston
and then came
3-0
right in and
against
hit him
Toronto
again.
so far this
McCabe
year.
stopped him.
Two of those
Pasternak
wins coming in
just
extra
ran
time, and
face
that pass
first into the
misfired
boards.
as he called
That was awesome.
against the Leafs.
That was funny.
It's an interesting dynamic with extra bodies coming around and who's
Again,
going to cover,
Toronto
who's going to say.
doesn't suck.
Lagesson went on waivers today.
Jamie coming in with that
roster spots were
subscribe.
needed.
Jamie, thank you so very much.
Some internal competition is not a bad thing.
Welcome to the community.
But Liljegren's interesting to me because we saw when Riley went out how good he can be.
Right.
And as a righty, it's so pivotal that
All right, Leo,
if he
I will check
plays
that
well,
out.
that he could be a real
Let me write
asset
that down.
to
Belfast.
the Maple Leafs that they don't have. But I don't know. I just wonder if it doesn't end up with him not being a regular.
Well, that's the other part of the trade deadline equation. As much as players get energized by the new arrivals,
as long as you don't get bumped,
right? Because if it's a player for a pick or prospects, someone's got to come out.
So under 10 minutes, 9.5 minutes to go.
You and I've got an early flight
9.5
back
minutes
tomorrow to
to go.
part of the gang in the studio for Trade Center. We lobbied for a noon start. That went nowhere. Like, in fact, less than nowhere.
Well, if the plane gets delayed enough, it might just get there.
You know, we could play a role in that if we really wanted to.
Our fearless leader, Chris Edwards, might have to take one for the team.
Yeah. There is Benoit with it. Gains center ice and flips that down to the Bruins zone. Witherspoon goes back. This will be in Montreal on Saturday. As Tavares has shot pinballs around in front. Knocked away by Coyle, kept by Labushkin. Down for Nylander. Sharp angle shot stopped by Swayman.
White trash guy, aren't they all quiet right
Jim
now?
Montgomery, the Bruins coach, felt like Boston played its best game for a first time in a long while on Monday against Toronto. Maybe their best game since they beat Vancouver here 4-0 in early February.
You guys make me laugh. I love some of these
overtime loss
comments
to
so
Edmonton
much.
where they
Thank
led
you
with a
guys
minute and a half to
for being
go.
so entertaining.
And then gave up a late tying goal to
Swayman
Leon
gonna hang on
Draisaitl,
to
and then
it.
went on to score the
8:09
overtime winner. Boston has
to
bounced
go.
back tonight. And the captain, Brad
8:09 to go.
Marchand,
Boston
has been
with
right
a
in the middle of things.
3-goal lead. Toronto just doing its thing right now, trying to play timeout. Again, the difference maker tonight, Jeremy Swayman. Lynn, welcome in. Jeremy Swayman, the difference maker. He has been absolutely outstanding. Of course, Brad Marchand has been up to his Brad Marchand things. So are they not going to a commercial? Wow, they were playing their commercial
Brody
music.
drops it back to Marner.
All right,
feeds
they're
it back
dropping
in
the
front
puck.
for
Here we go.
Matthews. And Albertuzzi back with it, shoots from a sharp angle. Matthews back on it. Down to Bertuzzi. And Bertuzzi spins out of the corner. Back to Marner. For Brody. Feeds it across.
Terrible pass.
Boquist from Matthews. And Boquist moving in on Matthews, who stays with him. And then a big hit by McCabe on Boquist, who didn't see the trailer coming. Trevor trying to kick that back, but it's picked up by McCabe. And Pasternak gives McCabe a couple of pokes on the way by.
The stick work going on right
back
now
with it.
is absolutely incredible.
Rink wide pass
Both
to Carlo.
teams, as they skate around, the
Carlo
hooking,
slams that back down to the
the
Leafs zone.
slashing, the shots, is
Liljegren.
absolutely crazy.
Plays it back around Benoit.
Frederick with a little bump there on Liljegren right in the numbers. Luckily not hard
This will be a
enough to
nervous
send him into
24
the boards.
hours for players, especially those who are pending unrestricted free agents.
Jake DeBrusk is interesting. Plays an important role for Boston, but a pending UFA.
He's had a really streaky year for them.
Yeah.
Tavares sends it back in front.
Nice tip by
there, saved by
Yardcroft right
Swayman.
on.
Still loose. Back at the point, it goes to Riley.
Again, Swayman
Morgan Riley
is
swings
everywhere.
it back asked for a trade last year.
Rescinded the request.
Yes.
Had a good year last year. 27 goals.
Comes McMahon with a shot. Swayman knocks that away. McMahon banks it back to Riley. Across he goes to Lyubushkin. Lyubushkin to McMahon. Shoots. That's tipped wide. As Camp got a stick on that. Still loose for Camp. Trying to pick that free. Kicks that back for Morgan Riley. Now batted ahead. Morgan Geekie knocks it out.
That's a bad play. Late in the shift.
Nice and
just
this
chucks
is
it.
coming all the way back down to Boston
For no
territory.
reason in particular.
Hasn't been good play.
Poor decision.
And at this point, we know the game is over. They're just
I would think on a team like this, unless you go get unless you're trading him to clear out money to
you're just coming in and tuning in. It's been a wild.
He's a 3-time 25-goal scorer.
Boston.
He's got 2 goals his last 17 games. He had 1 in his first 16 of the year.
And remember to set your notifications as well. Hit that notification bell, so you know when we do go live. We'll be back Saturday night.
But 25 is 25.
Hockey night in Canada. Leafs and Montreal
takes that pass and
Canadiens.
shoots off the outside of the goal.
Maybe Toronto will show up for
And
that.
Riemsdyk back on it.
Steven, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, buddy.
Banks it back around. Matthews. Back in front for Marner. And Matthews off the side of the
In
goal.
front, and they score. They're waving it off.
And right away, that's waved off.
Kicked in by Bertuzzi.
They're saying kicked in by Bertuzzi. This is being waved off.
So the officials.
So after some blown calls earlier in this game, a bunch of
much of a complaint
tomfoolery.
on Toronto Maple Leafs.
No goal on the play. The puck was kicked with a distinct kicking.
Are they not even going to review it?
No goal.
He waves it off with no review.
It's good work
Let's
down
see.
low to create the chance, but Bertuzzi with his stick tied up and
Oh yeah,
shoves it in the net.
clearly a kick in.
4-1 Boston.
Oh Tyler, oh Tyler, you can't do that. Good old-fashioned heel kick. I was like, I haven't seen in a long time a referee waving off a goal citing for kicking, and they don't review it. But that one was pretty darn obvious. Oh man, what a hockey game here. And it's only Thursday. This feels like a Friday. But the Leafs are having a tough time putting this one to bed. They're just playing it out. Hopefully they regroup and get things done on Saturday. Again, tomorrow is trade deadline day. There is going to be a whole lot of shenanigans going on, a whole lot of trades coming through. We're waiting to see what other deals Toronto gets involved with. Can they pick up Parienko? If they can do that, if they actually can find a way of bringing Parienko, that's going to be amazing. Oh, here is news. I don't know if you've heard this, and I don't know who I was talking about this the other day. I just saw this today. It's set for, July 20th? July 20th? Free on Netflix. Jake Paul is taking on Mike Tyson. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, live on Netflix. July 20th, I believe, is the date. So that is going to be crazy. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, Netflix for free if you have Netflix. So I'm going to watch that fight. Maybe we'll have to come on and do a little group hangout for that fight. I hope Tyson annihilates him. If you have seen any clips of Mike Tyson working out in the gym, he is still lightning fast and hits hard as a rock. So that is going to be awesome. Mike Tyson throws uppercuts like Tyler Bertuzzi. Whoop-pow, whoop-pow, whoop-pow. That's going to be stellar. Prep, what's going on? I don't have a rough day, bullied me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Took her shopping and a steak dinner. There you go, Prep. Please tell her I say hello and send my best. And she should remember, no matter how tough it gets, keep on smiling. She's an awesome, awesome kid. And we wish her the best, Prep. Here we go, back underway.
From two teams that are going to play each other that night, get dull for each other. Happened to Doug Waite. Rangers were playing Edmonton that night. Madison Square Garden got traded to the Oilers that day. As McAvoy shoots, that's gloved by Wool. We were here one night when Mike Camilleri got traded mid-game.
He was sitting
If
beside
Tyson
me,
goes down
and then he
against
wasn't.
Paul,
when he was traded away,
I'm going to lose
Montreal
all
to
respect for boxing.
Calgary?
There
You're
is
the second
0%
iteration.
chance Tyson
I looked over
should
and asked the trainer, "Is Camilleri hurt?" He just said no. I said, "Okay."
Where is he?
I know what that means. He's not playing. So
He's
everyone
getting up
around
there,
the league
Curtis, but
will
man,
be
he
happy
can
at
still
301.
throw them. All right, Steven, you've
Whether you're
told us
traded or not, at least there'll be some clarity
5,000 times.
to the
We
end
wished
of
you
the
a happy
speculation
birthday.
around the league, which I struggled with as a player.
You were never a deadline.
We don't mind hanging out and having some fun, but
never
please
at the
don't
deadline,
put the same
but
message.
2 weeks beforehand.
Oh, I think that the good stuff out of the way early.
I was like the Doug Waite, early edition, you know, or the trouble guy who needs more time to fit in the new team. One of the two.
Labushkin for Riley.
Under 5 minutes to go. Just trying to play
How
this
much
one
do we
through.
remember
Let's
the
just
fact
hope it
that
doesn't get
Boston appears to be on the
redonkulous.
verge of sweeping the season
Thank you for
series?
hitting that subscriber.
As Boquist moves in.
One subscriber away
I don't
from
think it matters that
330.
much in the big picture. Boston doesn't think we're going to
subscribers
cruise
away
in the
from
first round because we haven't
333.
lost in a couple of years. I don't think Toronto thinks we can
Benoit
win because we
carrying
haven't
this
won
all
in a
the way
couple of
around.
years.
Benoit taken out of the rush by Witherspoon.
Oh, he gets hit hard by
But hearing Toronto talk for this game, Gord, they're probably not happy that they weren't able to
fans up there banging
muster
on the
up a better
glass.
game in
David
response to
Kemp,
Mondays.
3 cross checks from Frederick.
Picked up now by Shattenkirk. Lifts it high in the air. Trying to find Pasternak with the bounce. And Noah Gregor range back to take that away. Boston a 4-1 win in Toronto. And his foot back in front. Knocked wide
Good
by
save by
Frederick.
Wall.
That was Monday
Again,
night.
Wall still has to be sharp.
Shattenkirk winds it across to Witherspoon. Long wrist shot tipped in front. Wool makes the stop and is able to hang on Molson Leafs hockey.
Another
On
commercial
TSN.
break as this one is winding it down. 3:37 to go in this game. 19 of their 20 meetings versus the Bruins. Wow, Austin, that is a crazy, crazy stat. Absolutely crazy. It's been a wild game. I mean, Boston jumping out. Some of the stuff going on is just absolutely bizarre. Absolutely bizarre. Makes no sense. What are we going to do with this Leaf team, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry, I had to read something real quick. What are we going to do with this team? Should we see how they bounce back against Montreal? If they get spanked again versus Montreal, is it then time to panic? The Leafs came off of a nice little road streak out on the West Coast. They've struggled here this week, losing 2 to Boston. Of course, that game against Buffalo was nothing to write home about. They were able to pull out the win in overtime. Boston just owns us, unfortunately. I mean, when you get beat like this on the eve of trade deadline day, does it make your general manager think, maybe I need some other things? Does it now push Tree Living to say, maybe I need a different goalie? Maybe I need some kind of a goalie upgrade? Does it still push him for that Paryenko deal? Do they figure they need a better depth forward? Could they pull out something if they're dealing with St. Louis? Could they double it up and figure out a deal to bring over not just Paryenko, but Buchnevich as well? I mean, that would be a pretty sweet deal to bring over Buchnevich and Paryenko. We'd have to see. I think we should get our golf clubs ready. No, I need the Leafs to go far in the playoffs so my shoulder heals up so I can get back on the golf course. If it's an early exit, I don't know how well I'm going to play. Right now, it's a pretty high percent matchup these two teams are going to meet. Prep coming in with the gifted membership. Prep, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Austin, congratulations. Stick taps for Prep coming in. Brian, how did Leafs play today? Not well. We'll just leave it at that. Not well. There are stick taps for Prep. So everyone who's saying they should have played Sammy played last night. Goaltenders in the NHL, very rarely do they play both nights on a back-to-back. So Sammy played last night against Buffalo, and he played a darn good game. But boy, isn't it funny how just a couple weeks ago or months ago, everyone was calling for Sammy's head. Send him out of Toronto. He's terrible. Send him to the minors. Joseph Wall is our guy. Marty Jones is our guy. Sammy comes back and has a couple good games, and now he's the savior. Listen, I love this community, but I love how quickly we as Leaf fans flip-flop so fast. So fast. I'm a diehard Blackhawks and also Maple Leafs fan. Been to Mississauga, Toronto, Montreal. Love it there. Nylander doesn't have the cones to win a cup. Interesting. Nylander, when he plays with a chip on his shoulder, he's pretty darn good. The team lost, so I came here to be happy seeing the Leafs lose. Afzal, if that's how you pronounce it, I hope I'm getting that correct. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad we could enlighten your day. Here we go. Finally, Domi. Domi is going at it. Who is he with? He's absolutely demolishing whoever that is. He flipped him down so fast I couldn't even see. And it's McAvoy. McAvoy getting into it. McCabe is trying to grab Frederick now. Nylander has a hold of Grzelcyk. Danton Heinen has a hold of Bertuzzi. Everybody's grabbing somebody now. McCabe really wants that Frederick. Lyubushkin is in there. He's now got Van Riemsdyk. JVR isn't going to do anything. But Domi was absolutely destroying there. He was throwing them fast. So McAvoy is out. Domi is out. That's called setting the tone for the next game.
Prepare to fight.
Hadouken!
Round 1. Fight.
The Domi just absolutely got in there. McAvoy didn't even have time to get his gloves off. Domi was just filling him in. So again, Boston continues to cheap shot, but won't drop. Oh, thank you, volume. Won't drop the gloves. Thanks, Cam.
As of late for Boston,
won't drop
they have
the
lost
gloves.
just one game in their last 10.
Boston getting in there. They're pulling all the stuff, but they're not dropping the gloves.
Right? You know, they win 4, they lose 5 in overtime. Got 13 points in the last 10 games.
Was just
absolutely
15
losses in overtime and shootouts. It's the most in the league, but that's 15 points. By the way, Florida and Boston play each other twice more.
Okay. Domi giving some cross checks to Pasternak earlier today. Of course, we know what McCabe was doing.
And lots of battles in front, lots of sticks up.
Coyle in front was all over a couple of Leaf players.
Scrums, goalies
Swayman giving shots at Yarncross. Bertuzzi had a nice tussle.
And you should not be surprised about this. And I see Reeves on the ice, and I don't know if Brazeau fights, but it will either escalate.
Let's see what happens here. See if they throw Reeves off the ice. They've done that before when Reeves comes in at the end. We got pushing and shoving. Reeves and Loco.
No, but that's what
we're going to get another scrap.
Is there for on the other side.
Fired down on
shot
Swayman.
right on Swayman. Push that to the side.
All even up after that skirmish.
Yeah. And swept down by Brazeau.
1:20 to go.
To play it. Have to be careful there with the puck rolling towards the forbidden area. Shattenkirk plays it back to Witherspoon. Rolling puck shoots, and Wall makes the stop on that.
Evan, how's it going? Welcome in.
Brazeau in that scrum.
You're talking right now.
Not at home. That's awesome. Really?
Like,
very cool. Tell him I say hello.
Lined up against each other here.
Brad, what's going on?
Reeves had the big fight with Rempe last week.
That's funny.
Usually the
going into the last minute of play here in this game. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure to hit that subscribe up top.
to stay chippy the whole way.
Final minute.
We'll be back Saturday night. Leafs in Montreal. Classic matchup.
Point on the season series with Toronto as both.
Thank you, Steven. Appreciate it.
Rockets off a stick up and out of play.
42 seconds to go.
And Chris Johnston planted the big bomb last
Listen,
week.
Logan Paul, what Logan Paul is doing in the WWE right now,
Vancouver potentially coming to
he has been such a quick learner, and everything I've heard from some of the other folks there is they are so impressed with him.
It'll be done later tonight.
So listen, I wasn't a fan, but seeing what he's done in such a short time, I've become a fan of what he does in WWE. Arman, what's going on? Welcome in.
Shattenkirk.
36 seconds
Brazo.
to go. Bringing it around. Boston with a shot.
Shoots and fired that wide.
That one's going wide.
Puck rolling back in front, knocked away by Benoit. Here's Shattenkirk at the point with it. Back around to Lauko. And Boquist. And for Brazo, tied up by Lyubushkin. Brazo pulls it back across. That pass just missed. Shattenkirk shoots. That got through and goes wide. And the Bruins sweep the season series from the Leafs. And have now won 7 straight.
So that's it. This game is done.
Brad Marchand, his 100th career multi-assist game
tonight. A good heel, absolutely.
The Bruins take it 4-1.
Absolutely, just like
Boston trying
one of the best heels in the game of hockey today. Brad Marchand and the Leafs take this beating on the chin. They got to figure something out and figure it out real fast, because this was not a game to write home about. Not good at all. Way to go, Bruins. Some folks are happy. Boston fans are happy. Toronto fans are saying, what on earth just happened? Let's run down all the stats. Of course, I closed the wrong window, so shame on me. Come on, internet. Come on. Get the wheels turning. Let's bring this back up. Boston enjoying their celebration. This is a very prolonged celebration between the two goaltenders. And there's the big hug. Wow. All right, here are your goal scorers from this hockey game. Let's just adjust this. There we go. All right, it was David Pasternak, his 39th on the power play. A nice goal from DeBrusk and Marchand. Trent Frederick on a breakaway put it 5-hole. Mitch Marner on the power play is 25th from a sweet pass from Liljegren. Morgan Geekie, his 15th on the power play from Shattenkirk and Zaka. Then it was Brendan Carlo, his 4th from Marchand and DeBrusk. When we say that one was the nail in the coffin, that one really was. That goal just sucked the life out of the Maple Leafs. A shot from the point going all the way in. Statistically, this game was pretty darn close. Total shots in the first period was 7-9 and in favor of Boston. Second period was even at 12-12. Third period was 10 shots for Toronto, 5 for Boston, bringing the shot total 29-26. Toronto wins the face-off circle at 60.3%. Boston goes 2 for 5 on the power play. Toronto goes 1 for 4. 45 hits for Toronto, 46 for Boston. So again, physically, the Leafs were right in there. Block shots, 15 for Boston, 12 for Toronto. Giveaways, 10-9 Toronto. Takeaways, 7-4. So statistically, a very close game, but Boston able to get a couple big goals and just run away with it. Swayman holding down the fort. The Bruins sweep the season series against the Maple Leafs, and this one was not good. A lot of physicality, a lot of scraps, a lot of cheapness. It's going to be incredible if these two teams meet up in the playoffs. Look out. It is going to be naughty. It is going to be absolutely naughty, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun at the same time. I want to thank all of our moderators for doing what you do. This was a whole lot of fun. We have something brand new debuting tomorrow afternoon. You will see a new video popping up. It is a new series we're going to start running on Fridays. Make sure you keep an eye open for that. That's why you have to have those notifications set because it's something a little new. Thank you to all of our gifters tonight. B-Man for the Super Chats. Triton for the gifted membership. Triton for the Super Chats as well. Prep for the gifted membership. We thank you all so very much. Not what we wanted to see, but it happened. And hey, we're going to move on. This was not a good game to write home about with the acquisitions Toronto makes. Let's see how that changes things around, changes the dynamic of this team. Of course, trade deadline day is tomorrow. We'll post some comments in the community section if the Leafs do anything big. Maybe if there's time, we'll throw out a little video, but we'll see what it's going to be. From here on out, it starts the good old hockey game. The road to the playoffs begins on Saturday after trade deadline day. Thank you everybody so much for supporting our channel, supporting each other, making this a fun community. Thank you for attempting to be respectful to one another. We need some work on that, but we'll keep it up. Thank you all so much. From the Samwelb B12 household, good night, good luck, and go Leafs go. Let's hope for a better showing on Saturday. Take care, everybody. See ya.